Hey, we're live.
Yeah, I was just having a little dance to that. Actually, I love that music.
It's a good little tune, isn't it? It's a good little tune.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Oh, mate. Right. Well, evening all, and welcome to the Claret and Booze Up, the Europa League special. Because why not? I hope you enjoyed that little intro video, the bit at the start. I think it sort of sets the tone, didn't it? It was amazing, wasn't it?
Unbelievable.
Different class. Absolutely amazing. Well, like I say, what a fantastic game. You know, we all witnessed last night. You know, whether you was lucky enough to be at the game or at home, as unfortunately I was. I still, you know, I enjoyed it. I'm gutted I didn't go. I'm devastated if I'm honest. But the night was amazing. So I can only imagine what it was like if you was there. But you can all gloat about that in a minute. But yeah, like I say, I'm still buzzing. I'm still buzzing about it. I mean, any sort of reference to that game, whenever I see something pop up on Facebook or anything, it just gives me goosebumps. I think I'm going to be like that in about 5 years' time. It was a special night, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It really was. Well, look, you're joined this week by myself and Gary and familiar faces and friends of the show, Dave and Grant. Dave, how are you after last night, mate? Have you recovered emotionally yet?
Yeah. Well, I'm quite an emotional person, so it'll take Spurs on Sunday to get it out of me, and then I'll feel emotional about that for a few days.
Yeah, that's it.
I wasn't there last night either, so
right. Okay, at least I don't feel left out then.
Yeah, unfortunately, that thing called work hindered that, but you know, it is what it is. It was still amazing.
It was amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I was sat in the front room with Hayden watching it. When we went 1-0 up, Kate, Lauren come down, and all four of us, we never spent any time in the front room together.
You was all watching it?
Yeah, all watching it. I loved it. It was brilliant. Kate's in tears when Yarmolenko scores.
Oh, mate. What a moment. What a moment.
Yeah, and I think people can so relate to it.
Yeah, no, 100%. But to have like twice, I mean, especially, I mean, we'll go into the goal, but it is written in the stars. I mean, that it was passed to him. It was like the keeper. It was like the keeper went, "Oh, look, you know,
part of it."
Well, you deserve it. You can have it. But Grant, lovely to have you back on, me old mate.
Thank you for having me back.
What a night! You was there. I know you was there. Are you? I bet you're still buzzing, mate, from last night.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, my voice certainly hasn't recovered.
No,
that was unbelievable. That was such an atmosphere.
What time did you get down there?
I was a little bit late. I didn't get probably just after 7, and by the time I got in, it was about 7:15 because the queues were. You could tell as you're approaching the stadium, you knew it was going to be busier than normal, and you could hear the noise from outside by the Heineken bar and stuff. So
you could see so you knew it was going to be.
You knew it was rocking. Yeah. So. But what an evening, what a night, what an atmosphere. So much noise.
You'll never forget that one. And last but not least, Gary, I know, you know, like me, we was messaging last night. We was watching replays until the early hours. But how are you feeling? You was up early and all, weren't you?
I'll tell you what, I had a hell of a night. I mean, it was a wonderful, wonderful night. I've just recovered from COVID this week, so I weren't feeling my best, to be fair. But I went along and met in the beer merchants tap with a big group of people. A lot of your people there, Dave. A lot of your people there, and we had I had a pint of water. Because I couldn't stomach a beer, and honestly, so I went along stone cold sober. And honestly,
Gary, tell everyone what you did.
Oh fucking hell, I can't really. I mean, look. Went in, you know, the beer merchants tap out the back. They've got these bench seats, right? Well, I was, you know, we were just getting a new set of benches to sit down on, and I was the first one there. So I sat on the end of the bench, and it's fucking swung up like a seesaw, and I just landed right on my ass, rolled across the floor. I'll tell you what, though, I nailed the landing, and I got up really quickly to see if anyone noticed.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what, that night, I mean, look, there's not enough superlatives to kind of describe it, really. It was absolutely incredible. And I'll tell you what, the last time I heard a noise like that, you know, after that first goal went in, the noise after that goal for 10 minutes, there was singing, there was songs going on. You couldn't hear the songs, you could only hear the noise. And that's like it was when we won the playoff final at Wembley.
Yeah.
So loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone I've spoken to said the same thing. That I mean, look, we all love Upton Park, and we do. But you know what? We're having some good nights at this place, aren't we? We are. And do you think, if we're being honest, if you was there, Gary, do you think once you're in the ground, do you think that would have been any better at Upton Park that night in particular? Really?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so, and I'll tell you why. And I think we can all see this now. We can all see what that stadium's about. That stadium is perfect for big occasions, right?
Yeah.
Where it's packed to the rafters. Everyone's in the mood for singing. They've had a few beers. They've been on it for a few hours, and they roll into that ground for an evening game. You know, it don't have to be an evening game, but you get the idea. That is built for big occasions. That's why it's not so suitable for a quiet game against Burnley.
I think the pre-match like entertainment, if you want to call it that, and with the whole COYI with people holding the bag. That's not happening at Upton Park. You can't create that at Upton Park. It looks fantastic.
I do like what they've done with the European nights, though, because like you say, when I first saw it, the light shows, I sort of sneered at it a little bit, but I kind of really like it now.
Yeah,
you feel like you're at an event. It don't just feel like a football match. You feel like you're going to a big fucking event. It feels amazing.
But don't that create something amongst the team? The players must be in there, and that buzz will filter through to them before they even get on the pitch. So there's an extra lift before they even set foot on the pitch. Where you look at like the way Spurs have sort of dismissed the European tournament this year as a fucking no trophy. West Ham wouldn't do that, and I know there's differences. They're used to playing in Europe, but fuck it, let's embrace this, and the club are doing it. Fair play to them.
Yeah. No. You've got to. I mean, the thing is, if we if we finish 7th and we get in the Europa Conference League next year, I'd expect us to fully have a go at that competition.
Yeah, damn right.
Go out to win it. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. I just want to say, Chris Miles, who was with us last night, he said, "I've now got a new pre-match routine." And then he went on to say the whole place saw it. Cheers, Chris. Thanks for that, mate. Thanks for that. And by the way, welcome to Jay's dad, David Shaw, who's joined us in the chat tonight. Hi, David.
David, welcome. I wonder if David he's a season ticket holder, isn't he? I wonder if he was. I wonder if he was over there. All right. Well, let's quickly run through the agenda for this evening. Of course, we're going to be starting in Stratford. Where else? Well, we're going to be reliving last night's masterclass from our boys, and after that, we're going to zip through yet another completely donkey-free player rating section. I can tell you that much now. And then we're going to move on to the news. Gary's going to be starting, I hope, with the next round and beyond in the Europa League, because as we all know, not only do we know who we're going to be facing in the quarters, we also know which two teams we could possibly be facing in the semis as well. And once that's done, we're going to move swiftly on to Spurs' cup final at the weekend. We've got to lift ourselves. Got to lift ourselves for that, haven't we? I mean, to be fair though, we do want to win. But how great is it that we're going into a 6-pointer in the league away at Spurs, and genuinely, it compared to how it would normally feel, it's kind of irrelevant. We do want to win, but it wouldn't be the end of my world if we lost. Because at the end of the day, we're fighting to qualify in the league for a sort of in those top 6 spots for a competition that we're actually living in at the moment. Yeah. But like I say, we do want to win it, if for no other reason, really, just to hear Jamie O'Hara sort of have another break. Do you know what I mean?
He's a nice guy, isn't he, Jamie?
Yeah. But then, like I say, we'll finish the show as usual with our Premier League predictor, and that'll be it. So that's the agenda done. Before we press on with the show, Gary, do you want to run through any comments? Have you been?
Yeah, let's go through a few. So James G, we're talking about the atmosphere. I think there are a few comments in here that said, oh no, that's about Mike's steps. That ain't about the atmosphere. Player final last game Upton Park and Ipswich in the semis at Upton Park are the only things that compared to last night for me. Absolutely bang on. I went to all those games, and I honestly, if I had to choose between last night and the last night at Upton Park for emotional reasons, obviously, but I think last night was probably louder. I mean, that's what 60,000 people does, right? I mean, it was incredible. David reckons we're going to win the Champions League, or we're going to be in the Champions League. Yes, I hope we are.
David. And do you know what though? We deserve to be there, didn't we? We deserve to be there. We've played. I mean, Sevilla were a Champions League team. we've played a couple of so-called Champions League teams this year, and we've done bloody well against them. So why not?
There was a few little fights that broke out last night.
I was going to say I saw one. Yeah.
David. Yeah. And there was a guy. There was two people trying to squeeze into one seat by us, and the guy
really?
who was sitting next door. They nearly come to blows. Yeah, I think that's going to happen when people have been on the piss all day, and suddenly they, But yeah, I wish people would just chill out and enjoy themselves, because there was no need for it. Fighting amongst ourselves is a bit childish, isn't it? And yeah, best atmosphere. Look, I like I just said, I couldn't really choose between that and the Ipswich semi-final, and they all meant so much. I mean, obviously the Ipswich semi-final, there was so much riding on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for the comments.
Okay, all right, no worries. Well, okay. Well, let's.
Sorry, I was just going to say, that's funny you say about the Ipswich, the semi-final, and how much it meant. I think that was probably some of the difference last night as well. Because at 1-0, a normal Premier League 1-0, that would have been, right, everything's done, it's all dust, that after about 70 minutes when the game, they started having the ball, that would have just been, right, shut up shop, we'll kill the rest of the game now, we'll take our 3 points and on to next week. But there was something more, wasn't there? It was kind of, it wasn't enough. We wanted more. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah. No, it was amazing. It really was. Right. But let's move on with the game, shall we?
Let's do it.
Yeah. So
I'm getting some lighting advice from Mrs. H.
Oh yeah. Oh, you tilting your camera down.
So she's obviously watching it downstairs. Very intrigued. Thanks, babe.
Right. Okay. Let's take you back 24 hours to sunny Stratford. Now, it was an amazing night, and as we all know, West Ham won 2-0 against Sevilla. We went through on aggregate 2-1. But before we do get into the game, I just want to talk about the atmosphere, like we just have in the build-up. I mean, the support was amazing. It really was. And on social media today, I've seen nothing but salty, sneery comments all down Twitter from rival fans mocking us for having such an amazing night in a last 16 game and treating it like a final, as they call it, or basically, supporting our team really fucking well. Because, and do you know what? And I mean this, I feel sorry for a lot of these clubs, because they've got no clue what it's like to properly support a club like West Ham fans do. They have got no clue. If we get in the final, it will be amazing. And every game en route will be amazing. Every game will be a final, because our fan base, it is, I know, look, we might have it looks like we have tear-ups between ourselves, but our fan base is the bollocks. We know exactly how to look. Do you know what? We know when we've got it good, don't we?
That is what we do. We love a party. We're West Ham. We love a party. We love a good night out. You give us something, semi-interesting and promising like this, where it's starting to become real. And my God, have we got a lot of fans? I mean, we could have sold another 20,000 seats last night. Yeah, it was just we are a very, very well supported team, and it doesn't take much to start packing that place out, does it? It wasn't an empty seat in that place last night.
It weren't, but the thing is, I think when you support West Ham, I think you do learn to appreciate the good times. You do. It's like a reflection of real life. It's mostly shit, and then when something good happens, you make the most of it. That's what I think. But look, let's get into the game. Sevilla started with a much stronger starting lineup than what they did in Seville, because they had loads of injuries out. But if we're honest,
I'm not going to do a Kurt Zuma, by the way.
we don't really know hardly half of their players, so I'm not going to bother sort of talking about their lineup. So let's just talk about West Ham. And this was our starting lineup. As you can see, Areola in goal. It was pretty much the same. It was the same as what started midweek, wasn't it? Apart from Areola.
Yeah, same as the Villa game, I think, wasn't it?
Same as the Villa game. We had a late and very pleasant surprise, once we learned that Antonio and Cresswell was going to be starting the game. I did sort of have half an idea that Moyes was playing games, and he didn't disappoint. He always does that. He talks bollocks in press conferences, doesn't he? He just tells lies. It was a lovely surprise. Grant, what were your thoughts when you saw the lineup?
I was really surprised because Antonio allegedly wasn't even going to play against Spurs. So, and Cresswell was allegedly probably going to be all right for Spurs, but definitely out last night. So,
all games, all smoke.
Yeah, really was surprising. I I was almost actually expecting if Krez was out, I was figuring Masuaki was going to be back. And it was probably going to be a back three as well.
Yeah, I know. We was thinking along those lines, but it was a lovely surprise to have, though.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
You know, and Dave, how important do you think it was that Antonio was fit? Do you think he did make all the difference?
Yeah, he was an absolute beast last night. I mean, it's so frustrating because he does them really difficult things, and then he'll stand on the ball. But he occupies two defenders constantly.
Yeah.
You know, and it must be awful. They're not used to that. That guy, they're used to a centre forward like the bloke they had out front. Somebody who will cheat, moan, win when it's not going his way. Antonio gets on with it. How many times was he fouled, pushed about, pulled over? He just gets up and gets on with it.
They were terrified of him.
Oh, massively. I mean, I really
terrified of him.
I'll doff my cap to the experienced centre half. I can't remember his name, but a shit hair.
He's actually a central midfielder, Dave.
But you could see he was really enjoying the battle.
Yeah.
You know, there was nothing. But was
that Gudeji, wasn't it? Gudeji or something?
Yeah, because the other one is the younger lad was one who almost went to Chelsea, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But there was a real battle going on. God, can you imagine? Like, Antonio was constant last night.
I know.
He was
relentless.
He really was. And there was you don't get many now, but you get one or two stray voices inside the ground. Someone calling him a C word in extra time because he wasn't in the box, so telling him to get his ass in the box.
Yeah,
we've just stood and watched that guy run his ass off, very closely marked by two, sometimes three defenders, dragging them all over the place for 120 minutes, right?
People still criticise him.
I don't understand. Some people just don't understand football, and they just don't understand the level of effort that guy's putting in. Because what he did yesterday,
I said it on Facebook today, Gary. I said it on Facebook today. If Antonio had let's look at Yarmolenko, who's got an amazing touch and an amazing finish. If Antonio had that touch and finish, he wouldn't be at West Ham.
Unreal. Yeah,
he wouldn't be at West Ham.
Nick, there is a point here, right? There is a point. Everything Antonio does, because he weren't brought up in an academy system, right? He's very unorthodox. But if you look at our two goals yesterday, they came from that unorthodox nature of Antonio, right?
Yeah.
Even the second one as well.
His cross to the first goal was outstanding.
Yeah,
on his weaker foot. But here's a wide man. We had this discussion last time I was on. We've got no centre forwards. He is a wide man. Every time he looks a lot more comfortable. It's more natural to him. So I think people need to give him some slack when he stands on the ball going through and misses an opportunity. But he brings so many other people into the game.
Yeah, he does, mate. I agree. He's superb.
Yeah.
But look, let's get into the game now. Look, as soon as the game started, I thought the energy of West Ham it sort of reflected the energy of the fans. You know, willing them on from the stands. The intensity was insane from the off. You know, we were on it. We were pressing them high. We were aggressive. We were nasty, really fucking nasty, and it was all us. But Sevilla were staying strong defensively, and they were still sort of dangerous on that counter. On 8 minutes, we had a little scare from Sevilla on the break. Martial cut inside from the left, and Navas latched onto a loose ball. But luckily, it was a poor strike. Went over the bar. On 12 minutes, we saw that. I don't know if you remember this. That lovely bit of class from Lanzini. That little dinked ball over to Fornals, wasn't it? Who volleyed it first time, and that was that Gudeji, wasn't it? Who blocked the shot because that was flying in. That was.
He struck that sweetly, didn't he?
He did. He caught it well. On 18 minutes, Rice gives away that free kick. He done literally.
That wasn't a foul.
He done fuck all on Corona on the edge of the box. Yep. But the referee gave a free kick. I mean, the bloke was rolling about on the floor for ages, wasn't he? All he did was he just touched him on the small of his back.
Yeah. Wait, no, I don't even think he touched the small of his back. I think it was more of his shoulder blades.
Right, okay.
And he went down, clutching the small of his back, and you're just thinking, how these refs fall for it time and time again is just fucking astonishing.
I don't know, but anyway, it was a shit free kick. Souček rose for the first time in the game, not for the last, like a lovely big Czech salmon. and got his nut on the ball. By the way, I said on Facebook yesterday after he scored that goal, we'll get to it, but I'm not criticising Souček anymore. I love him again. As soon as that went in, that was it. So yeah. Anyway, they fucked up the free kick. That went wrong. The next 10 minutes was pretty much end to end. I wouldn't say it was quiet, but there weren't too many more clear cut chances on 27 minutes. This was a big moment, a really big moment in the game. Augustinsson cuts a lovely pass back from the left-hand side to En-Nesyri, who pumps that shot at Areola. And he makes that fucking outrageous save. And for me, that was the key moment in the game, because if Sevilla, who are like probably the best defensive team in Europe, if you look at their goals conceded record in La Liga, I think that's it. I think 2-0 up. That's gone. Now he's going the wrong way, and the strength in his wrists. I mean, Dave, what was your thoughts about that save, mate?
Well, when I first saw it, I was like, that's a good save, and then the replay of him, all his weight is distributed away from where the ball's going. It's not just getting your hand to it. To have that strength, talk about strength of wrists. To be able to that's what he's doing on the subs bench when he's not playing. to get that strength, and it was amazing. It was an amazing save. I am Fabianski's biggest fan, but would he save that? I don't know. But all I can say is Areola for me has gone up from that one save. That in big matches, that's a massive point in a huge game.
That was game over. That was one of many moments in the game, and like I say, everyone stepped up. But that was the key moment, because he had no right to really keep that out, because there was a lot of power in that shot.
Yeah,
there was a lot of power in that shot. So no, that was a big moment. So I doff my cap to Areola. What a save! On 28 minutes, Koundé he unleashes it was a brilliant shot, but luckily it was straight down Areola's throat. He gathered that up on 29 minutes. I don't know if you remember this. Benny makes that lovely little reverse pass into Antonio, and he kind of gets the ball caught under his feet. He gets a shot away, but the keeper because the keeper had a bit of a nightmare, I think, that Bono, whatever his name is, and he sort of struggles with it. And so was it Souček who slid in? Yeah, and he almost got in. He was inches away, wasn't he?
I think people were a little bit harsh on Antonio. It was actually a really good challenge from the centre half. He gets a bit of the ball to take the pace off the shot.
Oh yeah. I'm not criticising him. I did feel like I don't feel like Antonio was expecting it.
No, I don't think any of us were.
I don't think.
I thought it was a shit shot to begin with.
What from Ben Ram?
No, I fucking hell. No. But because you see him lining up, and I thought he was going to have a shot.
Oh
which he does. It was a fantastic ball.
It was. On 34 minutes. Lanzini, he had a great game, but he puts in a sloppy challenge on Delaney, doesn't he? And he gets that bloody yellow, which means that he misses the next game. I'll tell you what, Grant, he's a dirty little git now, isn't he? Lanzini, he is, isn't he? He's just going out to hurt people.
It was a bit worrying to see, because it's like, what's a bit early? This game's got have extra time in it, and you're doing that. And
I love how committed he is.
Yeah, and I just thought, he'll be gone after an hour. He'll have to get hooked off.
Yeah,
but fair play to him.
I just think it was under instruction. Look, they was all under instruction because we was putting in heavy challenges all over the place. I mean, I've not put any of these in there, but En-Nesyri, right? I'll just zip through it. Declan Rice, first of all, he does it first. Fucking goes through En-Nesyri like you've never seen. Then Dawson does him. Then Zuma does him, and then Dawson does him again. And the geezer's sitting on the floor. He looks like he's going to cry, doesn't he? That En-Nesyri. He was. I'll tell you what.
He was sitting on the floor with his arms up in the air, going to the referee. I can't do this. Dawson's done me again. For fuck's sake.
And I remember there was one ball that came over. It was probably around about 30 minutes. And the ball came over, and it was a ball that he should have challenged for, and it was Dawson's, and it was almost like he went, "Nah, fuck."
Nah, you're right. Yeah,
you can have that.
I'm not being funny, but we get linked to all these players, and this is the trouble when you buy these foreign strikers. If they haven't had the physical experience, if they haven't played in the league where they're getting smacked about a bit, it is hard for them to cut. You don't, you can say,
I like him though. I like him. He's a good player.
I think going back to what we were saying about earlier with Antonio, bullying their defenders. The defenders are not used to strikers who do that. They're used to strikers like that El Nesri, who is a bit of a fanny. He's massive, but he's a massive guy. He should be hurting people.
Yeah, but I think if we digress a little bit and you go back to Gerrard's interview after the Aston Villa game, what was his comments, Gary, about? He said they haven't faced a team as physical as us yet, didn't they?
Right.
No, they haven't. And I mean, their fans were moaning and bitching about it. But Gerrard himself, he said, "I learned a lot today from that game." You know, because basically, read between the lines, his team haven't been bashed up like that before.
No.
But there's a difference, weren't there? The fans were calling our a load of thugs. There's a difference. We are physical, and do you know what? I can bring it on. I love watching us knocking people about, and
so do I. We've been a soft touch for too many years.
Of course.
Yeah. No. Absolutely. And then let's get to the juicy bit. On 39 minutes, it happened. You know that moment of magic. Antonio receives a pass from Benny, who just bullies their defence just inside the left hand side of the 18-yard box, and he somehow digs out that cross. You know, just floated high to the back post. And Souček, you know, again for the second time, rises like a fucking salmon. This time in the other box, heads the ball, but proper header back where the ball come from. Keeper had no fucking chance. 1-0 up. Gary, describe the scenes.
It was carnage. I mean, as soon as that went in, I mean, literally everybody, all the way up to the back of the upper tier, were up dancing, jumping around like loons. We were cuddling each other, kissing each other. You know, it was happening. The dream was on. You know, it was coming true. You know, look, we kind of wanted it, but we didn't expect it. Right when it happened, it was just it was fantastic. And like I said earlier, the pure noise for 10 minutes after that goal was just something else.
Yeah, no, it was the pure noise in my front room for 10 minutes after that goal, Dave. Yes. I was Jill spoke to the neighbours. She saw them earlier on, and apparently they commented on my language last night.
I can't imagine what it was like.
All right, well, let's skip to half time anyway. So West Ham finished 1-0 at half time. It's 1-1 on aggregate. Still all to play for. Grant, what were your thoughts at half time, mate?
I was glad we scored because I thought we dominated that first half. I thought we had the chances, we'd had the pressure, and we were playing well. It all looked good, and to get our reward, it was like, right, you know, job's half done now. And again, you knew they didn't fancy it. They knew they couldn't handle our physical. They couldn't handle their forwards couldn't handle it, and their defenders couldn't handle it. So it was like brilliant. I thought Rakitic had been poor. I'm not sure if he was even fit. I think
he did not look fit, did he?
He was
right. He almost didn't know he was on the pitch. So
Souček and Rice were purring. I mean, going up against them two in central midfield, fuck that. When they're on that form.
And again, Deck sitting deeper and allowing Lanzini and Souček to be in front of him is a brilliant way of playing.
Yep.
And if he needed to get the ball, he got the ball and he carried it forward. He was
shielding. Yeah, he was shielding. Yeah.
And he was worrying their midfield as well. They, you know, because obviously Rakitic again, like I said, I don't think he was fit, but he likes to get the ball, kill the tempo, look for the pass, everything. Just slow everything down, move it. He didn't have a chance because he was constantly having to worry about where Rice was. So perfect first half.
Well, they tried to do that to us again, didn't they? They tried to like Villa tried. They tried to kill the tempo of the game by laying on the floor all the time and going down. It weren't fucking working because quite what happens is a game is about momentum, and I think the mentality is if you're in the ascendancy and they break up that momentum, then you know it might swing back the other way. But we just kept on going. We just kept on picking up where we left off. I've never seen us play like that.
It was a learning experience.
In both halves, we had 10 minutes of almost recovery, where we were sat deep and let them have the ball a bit, but played. Apart from Antonio, had the two banks of 5 and 4, and made sure that we kept our shape and discipline. Done it in both halves, and then that led into. And I think there must have been a little bit at the back of the mind going, we need to have a little bit in reserve for extra time. Extra time, we were fucking outstanding. The fitness levels, I was going to say this a little bit later, but were astonishing.
It was unbelievable. I wasn't expecting it.
No, I wasn't. I thought extra time was going to be a little bit.
You know, that's what you just said. What you just said, Dave.
You've got Dawson on pain. You've got Dawson on painkillers. You've got Antonio who's just passed the fitness test. You've got Cresswell who's just passed the fitness test as well. You know, it is fucking unreal.
I could not believe it. It was the thing that stood out the most after the game. I was just thinking how they put themselves after 90 minutes to up the tempo again. It blew me away. I got to a point where I was like, I'm not really concerned about the result because the effort and
you're proud of them.
Massively. Massively. You know, they got their reward. It was perfect. The whole night was perfect.
Yeah.
I don't know. It completely.
Sorry, Gal, go on.
Do you think, though, from what you just said, Dave, do you think that was a game plan all along? Because that's what, in retrospect, it certainly seemed to be. It certainly seemed to be that we gave them the ball, let them have the ball a little bit between 70 and 90 minutes. You know, they were having a lot of possession, but not doing much with it. And they looked really fresh, and we looked really knackered. Come extra time, we look fresh. They look like they're blowing out their arse.
Yeah. Which was weird because they made all 5 subs, didn't they?
Yeah, it was. It was really weird. We
only made the one and then made all the others a bit later on. But that's it again. That worried me because they were bringing fresh legs on, and we were looking and like, is anyone coming on? Is anyone coming on? And I was like, this could get away from us. But no, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Okay, right, Slug. Should we go for it? Should we go for the second half quickly?
Yeah, go on.
Started in pretty much in the same vein. You know, we was really quick out the traps straight away. If you remember, on 46 minutes, Rice burst through another lung-busting run. It's like we did against Villa. He kind of dribbled down the left-hand side, leaving Sevilla players scattered all over the floor, and he cuts that ball back to Souček, who just a brilliant strike, but unfortunately straight at the keeper. So that was straight from the off. On 52 minutes, Cresswell had a pop as well, just went wide. On 55 minutes, we had a bit of a scare. Sevilla sprang a counter. It was Corona threaded that ball through to Nesri on his right foot, but he volleyed it wide of the post. I think that's his weak foot. I think he's left-footed. 63 minutes, Lanzini had that shot at goal as well, and he had 2 bites of the cherry, didn't he? But that the second one got blocked as well. But let's fast forward a bit. Let's go through. So 90 minutes, finished 1-1, went into extra time. And as you alluded to, Grant, you know, Sevilla started showing off, making loads of substitutions. started bringing loads of new players on. Yeah, look at all the players I've got. But do you know what? It didn't make any fucking difference. We still looked fresher, I think, in that first half of extra time. Yeah. We still look like they look beat. I was starting to believe that we was going to get it, but then in the second half of extra time, I was starting to get nervous because I was thinking, I was looking at Antonio thinking, I don't want you taking the penalty. Not really. There's a couple of players there. Fornals as well, because I love Fornals, but I think he had a brilliant game. But I think, as he always does, but I think his quality was lacking a little bit. Like it was almost like he was a bit nervous in that game, like he was in Seville.
Yeah. I think there's an argument to say that him and Ben Rama at times are trying a bit too hard, overcomplicating it. Yeah,
they were. But anyway, look, let's just get to the winning goal. Go on, Gary, take us through it.
Well, absolutely. You know what happened was Antonio, another unorthodox flick onto Lanzini. Yeah. Lanzini puts the ball across the bit, spreads it wide to Fornals. Fornals cuts inside and shoots through 3 players and forces the keeper into a full-stroke save, which deflects it into the path of Andrei Yarmolenko. The Ukrainian captain slides in and puts it away. And that place, I mean, look, I described the scenes after the first goal where we were kissing and hugging people we knew. Now we were kissing and hugging people we didn't know, right? We were just all over it. People were climbing up and down. There was beer everywhere. You know, people jumping out up and down on their seats this time. It was carnage. You know, it was going to happen. We had 9 minutes left. And we had the finishing line. And it was just, honestly, you can't buy feelings like that.
No, you can't. And like I say, before we get to sort of wrap up the game and sort of give our final thoughts on it, I just want to sort of we touched on Areola. There was a couple of other moments as well at the end of the 90. Cresswell, he just made 2 brilliant bits of fucking defensive work. One at fullback, and then one where he blocks off. You remember the cross got whipped in, and he just done enough, didn't he? Just sort of used his body and blocked that defender off. Lanzini in extra time on a yellow card.
Amazing.
And their version of Flash has gone through. And he's fucking timed that tackle to perfection.
It was outstanding, wasn't it? He looked like a little child running against a grown man because that's huge. And he'd already got a start on him. Lanzini's gone from pretty flat-footed. Fucking hell! I was like, who made that challenge?
Yeah. I
couldn't believe it. You're talking about Cresswell though, and going back to the winning goal. Watch Cresswell's run that takes the fullback out of the game for Fornals to just go a couple of extra yards and get that shot in.
Yeah.
We are so much better when we have movement, aren't we?
Yeah.
You can when we play with that tempo and we want to move about, it's so much better than the slow, sluggish stuff where nothing, it just goes sideways and back, and everyone sits off us. It was beautiful to watch.
But that just proved because Sevilla did set up kind of how I expected them to, and that was what worried me, right? And what this game proved was that we can pick the lock because Sevilla are one of the best defensive teams going. They play similar to us. Sevilla, when they're a goal in front, they do what we do. They're quite happy to just sit, hold their shape, let you have the ball, and say, "Go on, show us what you've got." Well, we just kept going, and we proved that we can do it now. Against a very good defensive team as well, and we thoroughly deserved it. We thoroughly deserved that win. And a quick mention on the main man again, Yarmolenko coming on, not just his goal, but from the minute he came on, he looks like a new player. He's energy, he's physical, he's touch. The geezer's class. He is class. He's intelligent. And it looked to me like although I'm not saying Moyes didn't say don't track back because he was tracking back. But when he was going forward, you could see he almost had a bit of a free roll, almost Lingard-esque. So it's almost like Moyes has said to him, go out there, have fun, express yourself or whatever. Because he was just going anywhere. And that bloke, when he can just... Because he's intelligent, he can probably see space, he can probably see things that other people can't. And he just pops up all over the place, doesn't he, Yarmolenko?
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah,
he
it was right-hand side, left-hand side, down the middle.
Yeah.
He
likes to run across the defenders, doesn't he? Try and drag them away and just pull them. It's bittersweet, isn't it? That it's almost taken what's going on in his own country for him to. I don't say relax as a footballer because football's irrelevant to what's going on over there. But how different he looks as a footballer in his past few games, where it's just everything seems to be a bit more natural to him. Obviously, he's got the backing of everyone, but he doesn't look so. He always looks a little bit uptight, or always has looked a little bit uptight and not really enjoying what he's doing on the football pitch.
No. Well, to me, I think he was a bit of a big time Charlie when he came in. I think he was a massive player. If he hadn't got his big injury when he was at Dortmund, he would have been. He was a world class player. But he lost 5 yards of pace. And he's coming to West Ham. He's probably playing he's getting paid good money, but he's playing in an area of the league where he's probably not that motivated. And then do you know what? This has happened, and I genuinely feel like I think he's just started to appreciate the club. I almost feel like he's fallen in love with us, and I do because
appreciate what he's got.
Yeah, but he ain't doing this for his next big move. You can see he's heartbroken. He ain't enjoying his football. But he's doing that for the team. He is, and I think he appreciates the support that we're giving him now, and he does. And
and perhaps he could feel it, and perhaps he reads social media because the guy's been slated left, right, and centre. Mainly, you could say it's his own fault because he hasn't put in the performances and stuff like that. But perhaps he's like a Ben Rama character who needs a hug. You know what I mean? Not someone that needs. Some people need a stick. Some people need a carrot, don't they? No. And one thing that I think the position.
No offense, Grant.
The positional change, I think, is key as well, right? Because he wasn't confined to hugging the right-hand touchline.
That's exactly.
He's not a Moyes player, and that's the problem because he can't track back. He can't cover the fullback because he's just not got the pace and he's wasted. So that freer role is what he needs because if you get him back, he can't get forward again. So and then he's completely ineffective. So he can't defend, and then he's lost in no man's land the whole time. And so it is unfortunate. We've kind of. You know, hopefully we can get the most out of him for the rest of the season, and then he'll be gone.
Would you, out of curiosity, would any of you give him another year?
I would.
No, not a hope.
No, but I would give him no. I'm not saying at the expense of getting another player in, Grant. But why not have a player like him as an option from the bench?
Because he's not a Moyes player. He doesn't suit the system.
He looks like one at the minute.
He couldn't find any players in January he liked, so let's not keep the ones that you don't like, you know.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
I think, look. But what I'm saying is, if Moyes did give him an extended contract, and Moyes thought he was a Moyes player, and he did, would you be disappointed?
I don't want to pay him £80 a week again, and
he's 120. He's on 120.
He's not. He's on 80. Look at his donations to the Ukrainian fund. That was his week's wages.
Yeah.
Anyway, but
that was his take home wages.
That was his take home, mate. Yeah.
The thing is, with you look back at the big goals he scored for us.
Yeah.
I'm talking Everton away when we hadn't won a game.
Yeah.
We had an atrocious start to the season. We wouldn't be in this position. I honestly believe if it weren't for that goal against Chelsea.
Agreed.
No, I agree. Yeah. Completely agree.
You know, all right, last Sunday's not a massive goal in the grand scheme of things. And last night he scores big goals. He is a big game player.
Yeah.
We ruined him though because
I think his injuries.
When he got that injury for us, where he couldn't play 2 games in a week, and we knew that, and then he went away and played 2 games to the Ukraine. And then we played him a 3rd game in a week, and then he gets injured. It's classic. I don't think that's just classic Andy Carroll stuff. We just
I don't think we used him to his strengths, because when he plays for Ukraine, he does have a free role. He is allowed to wander across the pitch, and with Moyes is very much like your right midfield, your left midfield, your positions, and I want you up and down the pitch. And I completely agree with you, Grant, in terms of work rate. He's not going to get back. But sometimes
Ukraine play 4-3-3 and then drop into a 4-5-1 and leave him up there on his own without any responsibility. That's the difference.
But in games that we've seen, certainly the past couple of days, if you want something a little bit different off the bench and somebody who's got the potential to be a match winner, he is a match winner. He's proven that not just this week.
Yeah.
So, you know, he's a valuable player if we've got a switched on Yarmolenko.
Yeah, absolutely. Gary, do you want to run through some comments?
Yeah, let's do that. So we've got quite a bit of catching up to do, but I'll zip through them. Firstly, some salt from the Arsenal boss today. They're having to play 3 games in 7 days. Poor gits. I mean, these are the ones who cancelled all their games for no reason, right?
Yeah.
Ignore them. Dare to dream. Some silverware from Tony Perry. Long overdue, but yeah, we've come a long way. Absolutely. Right, let's go down here. 2 key events in that match were Areola's save and the Lanzini tracking back. Yeah, absolutely. They are the 2 key events for me as well. And I think if we end up winning this trophy, we're going to track it back to that Areola save, right?
Yep.
Right, let's go. I'd like to hear what Lingard's thoughts being on the bench at Man U and seeing what he could have done as being part of the team last night. Yeah, I must admit, even Lingard, he must be feeling a little bit sick about that. As for,
I can probably think of about 10 million reasons that Lingard isn't too fussed, and probably about a couple 100,000 every week after that he's probably not too fussed when he goes up to the Geordies and says how much he loves.
I think he's coming to West Ham, Grant. I don't think he's going up there.
We can't afford him, mate. It's not.
All those that mock us are sick with envy from Mike D. Yeah, there was one from an Arsenal fan today. And I was thinking, they've only ever won the same trophy in Europe that we've won, which is the Cup Winners' Cup. So if we won the Europa League, that'd be one better than Arsenal. Sorry, Arsenal. Yeah, really impressive that he was on a yellow. Says Garino. Yeah, I Garino.
He was quick, wasn't he? My
Yeah.
God.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
Dave was right. He did have a head start on him, though, Dave, didn't he? He was going full pelt.
Yeah, he was lightning, says Paul Riley. David Shell says that is the name of the player. Nemanja Gudelj. How do you pronounce that, for Christ's sake? That's that defender.
Gudelj.
Right. Right. Every Sevilla player was falling over themselves to get in Antonio's way. Yep. So we get through these Antonio comments. I've had many of them up already. Martial was ineffective. Can see why United got rid. Yeah, I mean, that's a player after seeing him last night I wouldn't be interested in, to be honest.
Done well in Spain, though, hasn't he? He's played again. He's gone to the less physical league suits him.
Absolutely. Danny Martinez says the save was better than Villa's so-called save of the year last year. Yeah, I think that was save of the year, what we saw last night. I was right behind the goal. That was one hell of a save, wasn't it? Mike loves Martial. Mike Brennan, does he love Martial, does he?
He's a huge fan.
Is he?
Huge fan, yeah. It's got a T-shirt with Martial on the back.
Yeah.
But on the front it says "fuck off."
Yeah.
Glenn Marshall says with VAR in operation, they should radio the ref and tell him the player is play acting. I mean, look, the way I saw that with the play acting is, I think first half, it was like a learning experience for us. Like Antonio backing into the keeper and stuff. Cannot get away with that in Europe, so you just don't do it. And I think in the second half, we improved and got a bit wiser to it. So I think we're learning a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Right. Lanzini could cut it in hockey with his attitude. Love him. Yeah. Evening, Stelios.
Hello, Stel.
And Greeno for the goal. I watched it back, and interestingly, the ref went to blow for a foul on Fornals, but then played on. Credit to the ref. Fornals got the ball, passed it to Antonio, who then chipped it to Souček. Good. We are fucking massive. Still,
oh, indeed.
Last night, before now, singing that. What?
What good.
Just
massive.
Everywhere we go. and then he had a little break. No, he had a break between the thing, didn't he?
Everywhere we go.
And Nedry looked like he was going to cry. That's what Chris Butcher says. Dawson body check on the halfway line of Nedry. We all remember it.
I battered him.
Yeah. And then Nedry looked like he was going to cry. Yeah, he was sitting on the floor, waving his arms, moaning at the referee. He was waving yellow card at the referee. Brilliant. Zuma, immense, world class. Yeah, I mean, what a signing.
Yeah, agree.
Right, only a few more, I think. He blew us off. Right, don't know what that means. Glenn Marshall. 2-1. Oh, did he? Oh, right. Yeah. 2 Wolves down to 10 men.
And Nesri blew us off. He
as well. Both. Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
It's 2-1. Well, I think Nesri. I think that could be a great sales pitch for Nesri. Have experience in that stadium like it was last night. Right, and to think Moyes was interested in Nesri for 40 million. Yeah,
he's a good player. I like him.
I didn't mind him either, to be honest. I didn't enjoy his performance last night, but I thought he looked very strong in Spain. I thought in the first leg.
He's very good. He's very good in the air. He's a good player. He's a good player.
Yeah.
He scored loads for us.
He actually had a header last night, which he should have done a lot better with. Both games, both games, he's had very similar positions where he should have done better.
But
so actually, fuck him. He can't head a ball for toffee. He might be able to jump, but.
What's your thoughts on Souček, Nick? We'll come to that after. Danny Martinez, Antonio with his off foot set up beautifully. Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Glenn, hopefully Leeds will win. 2-2 Leeds and
wow.
and Wolves. That's good.
Yeah.
And midfield play was great. Yeah, we'll touch on that, and we're going to score people in a minute, so we'll get to that. You're only as good as the other team let you.
No. What he's talking about there is because do you know what happens? It happened against Aston Villa. Whoever we play and we beat, everyone always says it was because the other team played shit.
Yeah.
The reason they were shit is because we play so well. Why can't anyone get that? We nullify the threat, and what we do is we're really good at breaking other teams up and sort of being spoilers. But we can still go and play ourselves. And do you know what? That's our game. Fuck it. I like it.
Imagine that being the Chelsea performance. last night in the Champions League. They'd all be wanking themselves off silly over it.
Oh, there would be. There would be.
Sorry, Grant, for the choice words.
I don't know. Claire's talking about John having a spanner. John, I don't know about having a spanner. You're in the comments. You should be driving these comments for me, John. This is ridiculous. You know how I struggle with this. Right. Phil, we turned to each other towards the end of the 90 minutes and said we cannot remember them seriously worrying us. Well, I mean, apart from the save from En-Nesyri.
They had a couple of chances. There was a couple of big moments. There was.
Yeah.
But
our fitness level under Moyes are not human, says Garino. Under Pellegrini, we were blown out of rears after 60 minutes. Yeah, look, 120 minutes. Now, we are so far into the season with, I think, 9 league games to go. Antonio hasn't had a serious injury yet, touch wood, wherever it is, right? He stayed fit all season. He played 120 minutes almost last night. Run his arse off. Okay. Dawson was absolutely unbelievable.
He was. I was going to have some comments on Dawson when we get to the thing, yeah.
His best 2 million we've ever spent, I think, isn't he?
Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah. I don't think we were that physical. Don't know, Dave. Don't know.
No, I'm laughing that the donkey's head just appeared on Dawson.
Oh, right. Yeah. We made Seville look ordinary. Yes, we did, John. Don't think we'll let Yarmo go now, Ashley says. Has Yarmolenko been the striker we've been missing? Don't know about striker, but you know that kind of free roaming midfielder, as we've covered already, is he's great for that. You just can't tie the guy down to the wing, in my mind. Do you
know what he's got though, which is really important. Do you know we've been saying we've been lacking that bit of magic in the final third. He's got that.
He's the best finisher at the club.
Yeah, he is.
And a lot of players have said that as well.
There's a bit of correction here. The grammar police are in town. Hammerhead is saying, team is Sevilla, the place is Seville. Yeah, get it right. And David's saying in Spanish, the place is Sevilla. It's all going off in the chat.
I tell you what, it's bad enough with grammar police. Now we've got Spanish grammar police. must have stayed over last night.
I'd give Yarmo an extra year or two, says Garino. Since Putin for a wobbly, Yarmo's been playing with a renewed desire. Agreed. I'd give him another year. I kind of love the guy, you know.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Danny says we didn't have a single player I thought deserved to come off. No, absolutely. Martial, En-Nesyri and Rakitic all taken off. And I thought that was amazing when he swapped out his front three.
Yeah.
It just said so much about our rear guard, didn't it?
Yep, absolutely.
Claire never believed it went for penalties. You had more faith than me, Claire.
I thought it was going to penalties in the second half of extra time.
And David says he thought Sevilla were ordinary. I was disappointed in them. No, I was satisfied with them, David. Satisfied. I think we stopped them playing. I don't think they were ordinary. I think we stopped them playing.
We bullied them. We bullied them.
That was their full side last night. Don't forget, we played to our full potential. Yes, and I think that played into it. Fucking Sainsbury's delivery. Cheers, Mike. Enjoy that. Brilliant. Right.
Breaking news, everyone.
Yeah, it was an away day atmosphere at home. Why did he put it in West End? I don't know. Right. Glenn Marshall, Gary in that celebration, anyone falling off benches. Mike was on the floor. Bang on Nick, one of the best moments of the game. Mike was waiting for the red, I guess, for Lanzini.
Yeah.
And I'm going to stop with the comments after another couple. 3-2 to Leeds. Come on, you dirty Leeds.
No way.
Yes,
so Jimenez got sent off for Leeds for a second yellow, and he shouldn't have gone.
8 minutes injury time.
Wowzers.
Bloody hell.
Ha, what a bottle job from Wolves. Yes, O'Reilly. And finally, good evening.
Hello, Gatesy.
Gatesy. Good evening, gents. And we are indeed massive. Back to you, Nick.
We are. Okay. Right, let's get on with the player ratings. Shall I just leave the donkey there for effects, or shall I bin him?
Yeah, bin him.
He's a happy donkey though. Look, gone for a different one. Right, let's get him behind Moyes. Okay, all right. Let's start with Areola. I'm going to go first on this one for a change, and I don't think there's going to be anyone disagreeing with it. There's going to be a few of these. For me, he was a 10 all day long. He was superb. I think for a goalkeeper's performance, that save won us the game. That save. If they'd have gone 2-0 up, I don't think we would have come back personally. So for me, I would go 10 on Areola. What about yourself?
I thought he did so well at coming and getting the ball, which has been his problem. He kind of, it's funny. He was really good at coming and getting the ball like Fab, but he also he did have some poor distribution as well. He kicked one long aimlessly like Fab does. I thought he's obviously been schooled. He's got to play a bit more like Fab, but no. But he was brilliant. He really was. I think 10's. I think it's a 9 because I think I think 10's a bit.
I'm going 10. I'm going 10 for him. I'm in a good mood. It is a democracy, so Grant's gone 9. Gary, what about you?
Well, I'll tell you what, the 10s are going to roll out my mouth tonight, so I'm going to give 10. I'm going to give 10, and these are rare, these 10s, but I'm going to give 10 to Areola.
Dave, what about yourself? 9 or a 10 out of for Areola?
Yeah, it's got to be a 10. Has to be.
There we go.
Save of the season.
Oh, it was. 10-10? Right, okay, let's go to Cresswell. And we go to Gary on Cresswell.
Well, I thought the whole defence was sublime. I'll give him a 9.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. How about yourself, Dave?
Yeah, I think this is going to be one of them shows where we all pretty much sit here and nod and go, you're spot on. I'm giving Cresswell a 9, and he's only dropping a point for a couple of crosses that were a bit shit.
Yeah,
but defensively, he was outstanding. Yeah.
Going back to their moments at the end of the 90 minutes, Dave. I think that was critical.
I completely agree.
And yourself, Grant, what are your thoughts on Cresswell?
Everyone's in a very good mood, aren't they?
Yeah.
I'd say an 8. I think.
You're being outvoted here. I'm going 9. Grant,
yeah,
sorry.
no, by all means, yeah.
That's fine. Sorry. Right. Let's go to Johnson on the other side, and we'll start with Dave.
Do you know what? I'm close to giving him a 10. I think. I thought he was good, wasn't he? I thought he was brilliant. I love him. In fact, he's our best defender, best fullback defensively.
He only got beaten once. And that was with that cheeky back heel from Martial.
Yeah, and it's players will get done by that.
Yeah. Of course they will.
Yeah, no, actually, I'm sticking with it. I thought it was pretty faultless from Johnson, so I'm going 10. You've definitely given up on decimals.
Yes. Yeah. No decimals. Fuck decimals.
Fractions.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Well, I'm going to go 9 on Johnson, same as Cresswell, but I won't argue with a 10. So, Gary, what do you think?
10.
You think 10? Grant, what do you think?
9.
Oh, we're going to go 9.5.
I'm going to be a little bit liberal with these tonight because I believe this. Solid 10 for everyone. So let's. So you're going to get lots of 10s out of me tonight.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll make an exception on this one. When we get a split like that, I'll do a decimal. So 9.5 for Johnson. Okay. Dawson. I did say initially I went Zuma and Dawson 8s. But I think Zuma was the better of the two centre backs, but they was both epic. So I think Dawson gets a 9 from me. Dawson was he was superb just for the fact he was beating them up. I really enjoy his shithousery, if you like. He's a dirty bastard. I love it.
He's the original. He's like the original cult hero figure, Dawson. Yeah. He's going to go down in folklore as a like a Ginger Pele kind of character.
Yeah.
People love him. People love Dawson. 9 for me.
You reckon a 9? How about yourself, Grant?
Yeah. You know what? Over this season, he has just got better and better. His distribution and the way his long passing has just come on leaps and bounds, especially in like the last few weeks. He really is. And he's also, earlier in the season when he had no confidence, he didn't want the ball, he couldn't carry the ball, everything was nervy. But now he's quite happy to pick the ball up and just to move forward, take it forward and get us going. It's not just, I'll knock it sideways and hope somebody else deals with it. He's starting to unlock some passes. He's a 9 for me. I thought he was the better of the two actually last night. I thought he was absolutely unbelievable.
You're right, Grant. He has actually improved his game, hasn't he? He has actually improved his game. Yeah.
Well, that pass in the Villa game was superb, wasn't it?
Unreal, wasn't it?
You know, it was brilliant. Regarding Dawson, I don't want to say I told you so. Well, don't say it then. Right, Dave.
I'm just sitting there grinning at all the different names for Dawson. Dawson Aldo, Dawson Navarro.
Yeah. I think the favourite though, because he is a Rochdale lad. It's big Dawson, isn't it?
Big Dawson.
Yeah, I love it. I do love Dawson Aldo as well. That came from 4-0, didn't it, against Leeds?
Yeah.
Last season.
Yeah.
But look, he's been outstanding. I love him, and he definitely gets a 9 for me.
No, that's fine. I'm in agreement with that. So Dawson gets a 9, right? Let's go to Grant first on Zuma.
I thought he was good. I thought he was. He wasn't as good as he'd been in recent games. He was a bit quiet, but then I think that's not always a bad thing for a centre back. It was kind of I thought he was solid. But yeah, I mean, if Dawson, I'd probably say an 8 because I thought Dawson was the best out of the two of them. So but can't fault him.
Yeah, like I say, there weren't much in it for me. I think Zuma had more quality, and I think there was. But you are right. It's hard to pick between the two of them. You know, Dawson he puts in heroic performances, doesn't he? But Zuma, the pair of them. Do you know what? They're actually quite considering. You know, Zuma was 28 million and Dawson was 2 million.
Yeah,
Zuma is a better quality defender, but they're very similar. They're very similar defenders, aren't they? You know.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts then, Dave, on Zuma? 10.
Yeah, he gets a 10. He gets a 10 for me. Here's the thing about you don't expect Dawson to play at the level that he's playing at, so that heightens his score, which I've got nothing against. Everything Zuma done last night, it doesn't always look pretty.
No.
He might stick it 30, 40 yards up in the air and 50 yards long. I'm happy with that as a defender. Get rid of it if you've got to. Nothing gets past him. He's a brick wall. He's a phenomenal signing for 24, 25 million. Ridiculous money.
Well,
absolutely.
I'll tell you what, this from Bonnyhammer here, an England call-up for Dawson is due. I mean, got to be better than that twat from Man U, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Well, I mean, in seriousness, if Harry Maguire's 70 million, and in reality, really, what price is Zuma?
Yeah. Exactly. Zuma's a far better player.
I would give Zuma a 10 because, like Dave, I thought he was pretty flawless. And there was one part in injury time towards the end of the game where he single-handedly cleared the ball about 4 times. It kept coming back, and he kept clearing it, and it kept coming back. You know, he was. I thought he was like a brick wall, Zuma.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. So he gets a 10. Okay. Let's move on to Declan Rice, and we're going to go to Dave for Declan.
Do you know what? I'm going to be a little bit controversial here, and Declan's getting a 9. And I reckon a lot of people are going to be banging out a 10. Some of his distribution and crossing was not at his level at times.
I think a 9's fair, actually, because he had a couple of shots as well, didn't he, that was off?
Yeah, his defensive work was flawless, but going forward at times, the odd pass went astray. You can see, and it's what I love about him. If he fucks up, there's no one more critical than himself.
Yeah.
You know, he's not a big time Charlie. Really, it does get under his own skin. So it wasn't his best performance, but it still gets a 9.
Good. I would say a 9. Gary, what do you think?
9.
Yeah, Grant.
Agree.
Yeah, 9. Yeah. I thought he was brilliant, but yeah.
Right, and I'll go on Souček. I mean, I'm agreeing with you. You kind of took me down on Rice because I went Rice and Souček 10s, but I kind of agree now with what you said there, Dave, about Rice. I think Souček probably had the more flawless performance out of the pair of them, and he got the goal, so he gets marked up. So for me, I'm probably going to go. I will go 10 for Souček. I thought he was. That was Rice and Souček and Lanzini. I'm including Lanzini in that triangle. That was Rice and Souček back to being like the fucking best central midfield partnership around. You know, they were defending as a pair. They even like the start of the second half. They were even going forward as a pair. It it was beautiful. They were, and Souček was just on fucking fire, wasn't he? You know, he was on it yesterday. He really was, and a great header. So, yeah, I'll go 10. What do you reckon, Dave?
Yeah, it's his best performance of the season.
Yeah,
he
was.
He keeps things simple, and he kept things, ticking over last night. What I like about him, and I think it pisses some people off, is that he might pick the ball up on the halfway line and play it back to a fullback, to a centre half, and they're like, well, turn and play it forward. He'll play the way he's facing.
Yeah,
I've got no issue with that. I'm all about ball retention. Certainly in games like this, you can't afford to give the ball away. And I thought he was superb last night. The header, fucking such a brave player. I mean, he was very unlucky with a header in the first half of extra time as well.
Yeah. He was superb. He was superb.
He's been back to his best the past few weeks. I'd love to see it.
I'd forgotten the player he was, because it had been so long. He'd been under par for so long.
But it's not a coincidence, Nick, that they've dropped Rice that little bit further back.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's not. It's worked so well, and I think they've tried to do it a bit different. It's not as good. It's not as effective.
No, that's it.
Do you think the headgear is now a permanent fixture? I do. I hope it is.
Yeah, because I don't reckon he needs it anymore. I think he's just wearing it.
Have you all ordered?
Good luck.
I'm getting one.
A headband.
Yeah, fuck it. Next time I'm on it, I'm wearing one.
Right.
10 for me.
Yeah, Lanzini. Oh, no,
Souček. Oh, you didn't ask me. But it's all right.
You got Gary Lanzini.
Lanzini. I'll tell you what. I was watching some of him. I'm close. I decided to pay attention to him in the first half of injury time last night, and I was watching him in the attacking area of the pitch in extra time. First, he was on the left, then he was on the right, then he covered the left again. The guy was covering every blade of grass. So much, and he's got so much quality. That combination of the three we've got in midfield now, he is pivotal to that. Absolutely pivotal to that. Bit of a sloppy booking early on, but that tackle that he made late on a booking gets a 10 for me.
Yeah, I'm upgrading. I'm going to go 10 on Lanzini. I think he was outrageous. He was brilliant. He was fantastic. Go on, Grant.
I didn't really notice him too much in the game, I'll be honest with you.
So a lot of the work he does go unnoticed, mate.
Yeah,
he's superb.
Yeah, I thought he was. So I would say I would have given Rice and Souček 9s. So then I'd probably say Lanzini an 8, only because those two stood out more than him to me. But
that's all right. We're making
the way I see it. Yeah,
it's fine. Yeah.
I thought his shoot. Some of his shooting I thought was a little bit off. But no, I didn't think he was poor. I didn't think, he's getting hooked off or anything like that. I thought, the other two kind of outperformed him. So, but lower than an 8.
But what they did was they did the analysis sort of before, during, and after the game of what he does. And it's no coincidence that Rice is not Rice always flourishes, but Souček in particular. Lanzini is critical to that midfield. He's just as important as Rice and Souček, because he's the out ball. He's the tip. He's always in space. So they've always got a pass on. He turns the ball over. He doesn't give up possession. He's so important.
Yeah, he can receive it and run with it, can't he? And
he doesn't do he doesn't do what Ben Rama does, which is hold on to it for too long and fucking lose it. He turns the ball over. So yeah, for me it's a 10. So Dave, what do you reckon?
You're talking about a midfield three. Go back 20 plus years when we had Joe Cole, Michael Carrick, and Trevor Sinclair.
Yeah.
Sinclair and Joe Cole got all the plaudits, and one player made them tick, and you took him out of the team, and all of a sudden we didn't look as good. And that's Michael Carrick, and that's what Lanzini is turning into us.
Absolutely.
Oh, mate, he is invaluable to that team.
He is. He knits that midfield together. You think of what Souček and Rice were like a few weeks ago.
He's a different. He's a different player to the one we signed back in 2015. Who was very exciting, younger, fitter. Now he knows his limitations because of his injury that he had. He's such a clever footballer. He doesn't want to give the ball away. And, going back to the saying about Souček, he does the same thing. If he's got to play a ball back 10, 15 yards, he'll play it. But he doesn't stand still. He will move left. He'll move right. He'll get into a better position to receive it. He's always like, give me the ball. You get in a better position and you'll get the ball back.
Well, what he does is, most critically, is he knits. Because Rice and Souček are pretty similar. They're quite samey. Lanzini can knit defence to attack. He can do that.
Yeah.
He's clever, and we need that. So what's your score anyway, Dave?
If Souček's a 10, then so is Lanzini.
Yeah, boy.
A quick comment from James in the chat. He said Lanzini 9.99 plus 0.01.
Okay, yeah.
It should say plus 0.01, James, not, get it right.
Maths police here now.
That's why decimals can fuck off. None of us really understand them when they start getting complicated.
Okay, let's go to Grant for Benrahma.
I thought he played well.
Yeah,
I thought he wasn't as frustrating as he can be. I thought I thought he had a good game. I'd give him an 8. I thought the only reason he came off was because his defensive work isn't as good as Fornals. So I think he was just the one that was taken off. But I thought he played well.
Yes. That's so you think an 8? What do you reckon, Dave?
No one's getting below a 9 tonight for me.
No.
There was a couple of examples, certainly in the first half, where he gave the ball away, and Benny in recent weeks has sort of trotted back.
Yeah.
He broke his bollocks to get back.
I
know it shouldn't be a reason to give someone a higher score, but I'm gonna fuck it. So he gets a 9 for me just because his work rate went up. He got stuck in that cute little ball into Antonio. He tried to make things happen, so you can't be too critical.
Yeah. And also, don't forget, he could have had another assist as well with that brilliant little pass that he done to Antonio as well.
Yeah, exactly. No, he played really well.
Yeah, Gary, do you reckon a 9?
9 easily. Yeah.
Okay, right now let's go to Pabs.
Just 1 minute. 1 minute comment from Glenn, because in you're talking about Lanzini knitting the midfield together. Glenn suggested that maybe you can knit some headbands for everyone. Right.
Okay. Right. Pablo Fornals. Gary.
Me. 9.
9. Yeah, I think same as Benny. Probably. Well, again, it was his shot that led to Souček's.
The reason is, I heard what you said earlier about you thought he was a little bit below par and everything. And I think in the first half, for probably 20 minutes, 25 minutes, he was a little bit, how can I say, he looked a little bit nervy. He wasn't making the right choices and everything else. He grew into the game. He got better and better. And especially straight into the second half and into extra time, he stepped his levels up. So that's why I'm giving him a 9.
Yeah. Yes. No, I would go with that. I'd go with a 9 as well. What do you reckon, Dave?
Yeah, I'm the same as Gary in the same analysis of him. First half, I thought a lot of it was trying too hard. I really did. He's trying to force things, and I understand that because it's new territory to a lot of players. So, but second half, he really ramped it up. I thought his energy levels and for his song at the end.
Well, there's 3 comments there in the chat, right? Pablo, 9 plus a song, so a 10. Claire says Fornals gets a 9 for the singing. Jones says Fornals 9 plus 1 for the singing.
Yeah, so I'm going with a 9. Look, I agree with Mike Brennan's put. He was our worst player. Let's scrap the worst. He was our least effective player, probably.
Yeah.
I don't want to use worst.
Yeah,
that's a negative term. There shouldn't be any negatives.
No, that's right. Are you in agreement with that, Grant, or would you go a bit lower?
I'd give him an 8.
Yeah,
7.5, 8. Yeah.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, we'll start with Grant on Antonio.
He how can you not love Antonio? He just runs and runs and runs. Some of the stuff. He tried. He had two options on a pass. And he just split both of them and put it. I think it rolled out, but
it did.
You know. And there was the one where the ball gets knocked forward and his first touch and it just goes pinging off his foot. I love him because I was just like he's all of us, you know. He just the where he's come from, the way how he's made his career. Fair play to him. And then he just produces these moments of magic where you're like, where's that come from? Yeah. Why can't you do that every time? Oh, what a cross! I'd say probably an 8.
No,
you guys are. Yeah.
Are we being too generous?
You know what? Because the trouble is, right? No, but listen, in against Spurs. And if we don't we don't have a similar performance against, but some of this stuff will be they'll get dug out for some of the stuff they've done.
But players are going to have a faultless game, especially
well, if 10s are perfect, then we'll scrap. Like nobody was perfect.
Yeah, but but we're going look.
Let's just
the performance was perfect. The team performance was
fair
perfect.
Enough.
And what I'm saying is, Grant. He has to spearhead that attack on his own single-handedly against two brilliant centre backs. There isn't another player. I'll tell you what, 40 million En-Nesyri couldn't have done what he did for us yesterday. I don't think. So I hear what you're saying. I don't think he gets judged on him being a striker. He isn't a striker.
No.
I don't think any of them are. You can see he's most effective when he runs down the channels. And do you know what? The best cross of the night came from him when he went out wide. He needs deliveries like what he delivered into Yarmolenko, but we don't get him in. We don't get those kind of deliveries in. You know, I do hear what you're saying. He ain't perfect. He has got an awful touch at times. But I just think that the good massively outweighs the bad. Massively outweighs the bad.
Yeah.
What? Well, look, we covered Antonio earlier, and I think me and Dave agreed on this, and that was he kept 2 to 3 defenders busy all night.
Yeah.
Very, very tough defenders who knew they knew what they were doing. Those guys, didn't they? Yeah. And old school defenders. And he set up the first goal with an assist. He had a hand in the second goal as well. It's got to be a 10 performance, isn't it?
Yeah, I would say a 10 performance all day long. If we're giving 10 out to the other players, I think he was key for me. He's a shout for man of the match, but we'll get onto that after.
Yeah.
Right. Let's get Noble, Diop, and Fredericks out of the way. I think should we just give them 8s? Those 3.
No.
What did Fredericks do?
No. I didn't say Fredericks.
Fredericks and Diop didn't really do anything. I think it's kind of hard to score those guys because they just kind of run on the pitch. And
should we get rid of Diop and Fredericks?
Yeah. Fuck them off.
Right.
Diop came and basically added. He had a good headed clearance towards the end, and that he came and we just shored it up, and it was all good. But
right, let's start with Noble then. Let's get Noble done. Let's go to Gary for Nobes.
Noble, listen, he was exactly the right substitution at the right time to come on and settle it down. He was only literally on for a few minutes. He managed to get a booking for kicking the ball away, which I loved. And I'll give him an 8.
Yeah,
I'll be happy with that. Dave?
I'm giving him a 9. I fucking love Mark Noble. I'm just giving him a 9. Fuck it. I've got no reason. Just put it on him now.
We're doing silly scores tonight, so let's give him a 9.
We're being nice, Grant. We're being nice.
Because it's Mark Noble. Who's put Noble 5?
That's Nigel. That's Nigel.
Joe says Noble 9 plus 1 for crying.
Well, they are.
It was nice for him to get on, wasn't it? As the game was going on, I was like, I'm not sure he's going to get on here. It's hard to tell. And then I was like, penalties, maybe he'll come on for that. Yeah. But it was nice. It's nice to get another run as well.
Nigel's got him ruined it by going Noble 5. He would say that, wouldn't he? I think didn't he run onto the pitch one? A fair run on the pitch, Nigel, something like that. Right.
Right. So are we gonna go? I'll go Noble 9. That's fine. Let's get onto Yarmolenko. Right. How good was he from the moment he come on?
Fantastic.
Brilliant.
Fantastic.
Go on, Gary. Go on. You can
Well, he's a very, very intelligent player, and when he's given the freedom that he needs to roam like he did last night, and he clearly feels the love at the moment, and I certainly love him. I'll give him a 10.
Give him a 10. Yeah, that's it. Okay, right. What do you reckon, Dave?
So for all the intelligence, well, this does tie into intelligence, but it's cute footballness. He played a ball that went about 40 yards up to Antonio, played it blind, and it was off the back of them having a corner or free kick, and he's hooked it over his shoulder, and it took the pressure off us. And I've never seen Yarmolenko play that sort of ball. He would have tried to bring it down, little step over, whatever, and it just it is a 10 all day long. I'm so fucking pleased for him.
I'm proud of him. I'm going.
So pleased for him.
I don't want to ask Grant because he just. I think I know what he's going to say. 6 or something.
4.
Because his goal was a little bit too close to the goalkeeper.
Yeah,
I'm going to mark him down to a 3.
Oh my word! 2 months ago, everyone would have offered to drive him back to Ukraine at their own expense, and now he's the greatest thing.
In fairness, 2 months ago, we could have afforded to drive him anyway.
Right, okay. Well, he's going to get a 10 because it is a democracy. What would your score be, though, Grant? Just out of interest.
I'd give him an 8.
That's fine. Well, it's a fair score, but like I say, we are doing silly scores, so I'll get that. 10, right. Grant, we'll go to you for David Moyes.
He set us up tactically. He set us up so well. Yeah, it was a perfect setup. Everyone knew what they were doing. I think it was brilliant. I'll knock him for. We could have made subs earlier.
On what basis? On what basis? What should he have made a sub?
Getting leggy. I always think there's in a game like this where all they had to do was just scuff a goal in. And after about 70 minutes, when they would start, 70 minutes, they were definitely getting.
Are you laughing at Mike's comment?
Yeah, great Rebel Hallwood and Claret and booze.
Yeah,
brilliant.
So you reckon a 9 then, Grant?
Yeah, I think definitely a 9.
That's a high score. That's a good score, Dave. What are you going? I know what you're going to go.
Yeah, I can't agree. I can't agree with that. It was a definite 10, wasn't he? I
don't think he could have done much more. That was a perfect performance, I thought.
Yeah, and I think Gary said earlier that it was tactical. The leggy moments were we retreated, soaked up a bit of pressure.
Yeah.
You can't say we were leggy in that extra time.
No, we weren't. I think, like we said earlier, it felt like after the game, it felt like that last 20 minutes. At the time, Grant, I agree with you. We were sort of saying, we look knackered. Why aren't he using his subs? But then afterwards, you sort of looking back on it, thinking, look how fresh we were in extra time. It kind of feels deliberate.
Yeah, definitely. You're not going to keep that intensity up for a full game, are you?
Talking of Grant, the message from Nigel, he says, ooh ah, that's all I hear when Grant talks.
Yeah, I've just sent him a little private message.
10 from me, by the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 10 for Moyes. I think he got them fired up. He got them, and you've only got to go look at. Did you see Declan Rice's interview after the game?
Yeah.
Those we weren't ever in retrospect. Now it didn't feel like that during the game. We weren't ever gonna lose that game. We had so many players that were their minds were in the right place. Preparation was spot on. He got the team selection right. Even the mind games, which probably did fuck them up. And I think you're right. In terms of in extra time, when they started bringing on other players, I still think we look fresher. I still think our players look fresher than them. You know,
making substitutions is not always a healthy thing, is it?
No. I think a 10. He definitely gets a 10 for me today. You know,
it couldn't be. Look, if we're giving out scores like this, he's got to get a 10 based on that. One of the best nights of our footballing lives, for God's sake. You know,
absolutely.
What can you do?
Right, man in the match, people. Give us your man in the match in the chat, and what we'll do is we'll have a little count up as well.
This will be interesting. Just a special mention while that's happening. A couple of people have mentioned it. David said Nolan 10. I think that's in reference to Nolan getting booked.
He got booked in the saw
that. Have you seen the West Ham clips bit when he gets booked?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
Nick, go and watch it. You will cry. I won't ruin it for you. It's comedy genius. It's brilliant.
All right, so we've got one vote for Dawson. Antonio, another one for Antonio.
I'm taking this really seriously because I'm writing things down.
I'm Antonio. I'll be honest.
I am as
really.
Well.
Yeah, I am.
No, in fact, I am going to go with Joan here and go Souček.
That's fine. That's fair enough. Oh, it's a bit of a fucking split here, isn't it? Hang on.
A lot of Dawson. There's one for Yarmo. A lot of Antonios.
Was that you, Grant? There was a massive sigh there, and I think that must have been Grant. Like fucking idiots.
Look, this is a big one, really, isn't it? Because this is probably one of the biggest games ever. And I'm not going to do multiple man in the match. We've got to choose one. So, Dave, who's your man in the match?
Kurt Zouma.
So you got bloody hell. You've gone Zouma. I've gone Antonio. Gary's gone Souček. Grant, who you gone?
Souček.
Hey.
And is there quite a few Součeks in there?
There's several Součeks in there. Yeah, I mean, there's more Antonio to be fair, but you know,
let's go Souček.
You know, in some ways, that like Rice was brilliant as well. So
he was.
Yeah, they all were.
All of them. Paul says, man in a match.
Yeah, it was definitely team performance.
Actually, the 60-odd thousand in the crowd were.
Yeah,
should also be getting that. You know, that as you alluded to, Gary and Grant, the noise in there. You imagine being a player stepping out. That gives you a massive lift. I don't care who you are.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. Okay, well, are we happy with the player rating? So Souček is man in the match.
Go on, Thomas.
There we go. Right, I'm going to go and get myself a drink, Gary. I'm going to hand over to you.
Okay, that's fine. Cheers, Nick.
Hang on.
Right, so now we're going to go and talk about, after that excitement last night, we all gathered around the tellies at 12:30 today to look at what was going to happen in the draw for the quarterfinal and beyond. So let me pull up. This is exactly what happened. You've got Leipzig were first out, drawn at home to Atalanta. Frankfurt were drawn against Barcelona. We were out next, home tie against Lyon, and then Braga against Rangers. And then the winners of quarterfinal 1 and quarterfinal 2 quarterfinal 1 and quarterfinal 4 play each other. So that is Leipzig, Atalanta, Braga, and Rangers. So that means essentially we're going to be playing Lyon first. Then it's going to be either Barcelona or Frankfurt in the semi. And then we save, one of Rangers, Braga, Atalanta, or Leipzig in the final. I mean, looking at all those teams, it's very likely to be, I guess, Leipzig or Atalanta. But having said that, Braga are surprising a lot of people at the moment as well. So, look, I thought, my own personal opinion, I thought that was a cracking draw. I think I wanted personally to avoid Barcelona at this stage. I don't mind playing them in the semi. I kind of have a feeling that maybe Frankfurt will trip Barcelona up because Barcelona are not at their strongest at the moment. And imagine that. Imagine having a semi-final. I'm not writing Lyon off, by the way. I'm just saying, imagine we get past Lyon. We have a semi-final against Eintracht Frankfurt following the quarterfinal we had against them in 1976. Wouldn't that be something else? That'd be outstanding. So what do you think about, start with you, Grant. What do you think about the draw? What do you think is going to happen?
So, like, as the names come out, you're like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good side. They're gone. Atlanta, good side. They're gone. And yeah, you start to see some of the bigger names come out, and I was like, oh, hang on a minute, this could. You can't really be happier than that, We kind of, that's Leon. By the way, apparently, I do not like physical football. So
my God.
yeah, so more of the same from last night for sure. So at the end of the day, 3 teams left to beat. If we want to be serious and say we're going to win this, it doesn't matter which order you get them in. You've got to knock 3 of them out, haven't you? So
Hang on.
and fair play.
Hello,
Barcelona going to Galatasaray last night. I did not expect them to go and get a result, and so, but dream ties. This is again. Can you imagine? We get Barcelona in the next round. Talk about last night's atmosphere.
Oh, imagine travelling to the Nou Camp and watching West Ham against Barcelona. Oh,
unbelievable.
Yeah. What do you think, Dave?
Could have been more favourable, couldn't it? But you look at Rangers' route. Could have gone that way. But West Ham Rangers in the final. How amazing that's going to be! All about England and Scotland and Spain.
Absolutely.
It's going to be amazing.
Sevilla will be dry, won't it?
That's
what a lovely place, though. What a lovely event that'll be, I imagine, with English and Scottish, because we usually get on all right together, don't we?
Yeah, we're all friends.
Taking over Seville.
Sevilla will just get smashed up. You know what'll happen.
Look, I think the quarterfinal draw is fantastic. You're saying about Eintracht Frankfurt, talking about the 70s game. There's a lot of bitterness from last week of what happened. Last week in Seville. So God forbid they get through and we get through.
I'll tell you, they're a good team, Barcelona.
I couldn't give a flying fuck about their team. I think what happened in Seville and the way our own press went out to destroy our reputation. The last thing we need is them getting through. So we'll beat Leon. Barcelona will beat Frankfurt. We'll beat Barcelona and they beat Rangers in Spain. So
unbelievable.
You're right there, Dave, because essentially what happened in Seville was our fans were drinking happily and they got attacked, right?
Yeah.
And they're gonna want some retribution from certain places for that, aren't they? Yeah,
it will happen. The only thing I'm disappointed about, if you can be disappointed, is the way the draws are. I'd rather be away first. I'd like this configuration where you bring them back to our place. I think that's
I don't like that both rounds are determined already. Play your quarter final and then have the draw for the semi final. But it is what it is. We're winning it anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Look, Leon ain't better than Sevilla. Leon are not a better team than Sevilla.
No, they're not.
No, they're 10th. They're 10th.
Yeah,
they're not. They've got 1 or 2. I think Ndombele is out there. Yeah, is he on loan or?
Yeah.
So they've got 1 or 2 good players, but it doesn't matter. We are fucking so huge and massive that we're already in the final. So it's irrelevant.
Well, I'll tell you what. I said it on Facebook earlier on. I can guarantee you that we would have been one of the teams that everyone else didn't want. They'd have been thinking, not fucking West Ham, not West Ham. Please no. Especially after what we've just done to Sevilla, because we bullied them.
Yeah, no, definitely. Let's go through a few comments before I ask your opinion, Nick. So the Leon game is Claire's baby girl's 18th birthday. Lovely.
Wow.
That's a sign.
Happy birthday.
We got the bastard route, said Mike. Yeah, well, we kind of did, but it's a good route as well, though, isn't it? And I think you have got to beat the best to be the best. The old saying.
Yep.
I'm sure Neil did have a few celebratory babies. General sale is on Wednesday, according to John. At the Amaret is at work. Jumped on. Best atmosphere she's ever experienced at London Stadium. History is being made. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Who's going to Leon? Hands up. Who's going?
I want to go.
I might talk of a minibus going.
I was looking today. I was looking today at Eurostar and Le Shuttle and seeing if it, because it might be worth taking a minibus. Is a good call. It's a good shout.
Think how much that's going to cost you for fuel.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, we're going to do Eurostar.
Mike's at the home game. Still right. What day you'll have, Claire?
Yeah.
God, I'm good at these comments. Right. They've hit some form with 6 wins in a row. Yeah, I think they're still 10th in La Liga, though. In League One, though, aren't they? I think.
Yeah, I think so.
And did they drop down from the Champions League? They did, didn't they?
Yes. Yeah, they did.
Leon sold their best player to Newcastle.
Wow.
Who was that? Who was that?
Oh, that was a midfielder.
Is that Brazilian
midfielder? Yeah. I can't think of his name now. He's been that good.
Glenn
I was going to say, they all carry their Brazilian flags around. I see them. They had them last night. Yeah, he ain't done a thing.
Right, and I think we'll win it. Yes.
Yeah, indeed.
West Ham v Rangers final. Claire says, Gary, that was a semi. Yeah. I was a semi. Oh, of course it was. Of course it was a semi-final. What am I thinking? So we could be repeating. Yeah. We could be repeating 1976. I don't know how I did that. Where's Dave?
We've lost Dave. His interwebs dropped off.
West Ham v Leipzig final.
Got one from Paul Riley there, where he says the Sevilla manager said that West Ham was the toughest draw they could have got.
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. So Barcelona are a poor side, according to Glenn. I watched the highlights of that, and they didn't look too impressive, to be honest. I mean, look,
tough place to go though.
They're dangerous. I mean, you can't write them off. They're a top team. But so are we.
I don't know if you saw. Oh, sorry, mate.
This is my feeling. I do prefer being the underdog, and I think we're going to this not being the underdog.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not
quite Kidderminster, though.
No. Can expect French crowds to be throwing coins, bottled flares, etc.
Oh, they were chucking bottles last night.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Some of those French stadiums, it's pretty hairy. I think Marseille is a terrible one.
Yeah, it is.
So yeah, I don't know about Lyon, but what was it? The Lyon reps' faces when they drew us said it all for me. They look gutted. Well, look, if they don't like
I did.
If they don't like a physical battle, that's what they're going to get, isn't it?
He's back.
Hey, hello, Dave. Right, so Nick, what final close this item? What's your opinion?
I didn't hear the question. What was the question?
Well, the opinion. Do you like the draw? Do you think it's good?
Yeah, no. Do you know? I didn't care who we. Yeah, I think it's a good draw. The only thing I would have liked would have been it to have been the other way around. Us bringing them back afterwards, but we can beat them.
Yeah.
And I think we will beat them if we show anything like the commitment we showed in against Sevilla in both of those legs. Then do you know what? I think we can beat anyone. We can. Why can't we win this competition? Why can't we?
No, there's no reason why we can't. There's no reason why we can't. No. So look, special mention to Glenn Johnson. No, not Glenn Johnson. The other Johnson. Who's got his Ben Johnson, who's got his call up to the England under 20. I'll blank there for a minute. I've got Glenn Johnson. He's got his call up to the England under 21 squad, much deserved. I mean, it won't be long the way he's playing until he's in the full England squad as a great young England prospect. I mean, he's so good. I don't see Soufal getting back in the team at this stage. Kurt Zuma and Cat Gate potentially, being prosecuted. I don't know whether someone suggested today that was planted in the press to kind of unsettle him ahead of the big game last night. I'm not sure whether that's true or not. And then we got Chelsea ownership. So so let's talk about that. Zuma, do you reckon that's going to affect? Do you reckon that's going to affect us? He's not going to get a custodial sentence or anything, is he?
No way.
Surely going to just pay it off and anyway. So let's talk, before we go on to the final West Ham topic, a quick word about Chelsea. I think the Chelsea, apparently bids were due in to be submitted by, the deadline was today for Chelsea. Yep. And last I heard, there was the Saudi media group who
unbelievable
more than, how are Saudis being invited? I mean, I know Boris is trying to butter them up at the moment and trying to get more oil off them.
Got to get that good oil.
But Boris was snubbed and laughed at when they went over there, right? So they're not our friends at the moment, the Saudis, if they ever were. They're snubbing Biden as well. You know, I think they're turning into a little bit of a rogue state. They're talking about changing the petrodollar to yen, right? So they're talking about selling oil to China through using yen rather than dollars. Now that's like, you know, I'm hoping that before too much longer, we're going to see a breakdown of this relationship, this cozy relationship with us, the US and Saudi, and Newcastle go the way of that ownership goes the way it should, the way of Chelsea, and also I don't think we should be encouraging. You know, the Premier League said when the Newcastle owners took over, they said they regretted making the decision. You know, and they didn't apply the right criteria. Now, surely this other Saudi group are now coming in. They're going to apply the right set of criteria, aren't they? And they're going to vet these people properly, or are their eyes just going to light up with the pound note signs again? I mean, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Most likely, new owners will be a Swiss-US consortium, or you know, it's one of Donald Trump's mates, got loads of money. Owns a US.
But Gary, this deadline you're talking about, are you saying that if they don't meet this deadline tonight, that they can't sell?
Yeah, I'm not in sure. There are lots of mixed messages around this, but I think it's safe to say there is going to be at least one or two bids. There's also another potential bid for which is a fans-based consortium, but I don't think they've got the money to do it. Right, not unless Abramovich decides to give it to them. But look, Chelsea are going to come up smelling of roses again. We know they are. They're probably going to win another 20 trophies in the next 20 years. I wish it weren't going to happen, but you know, that is the nature of the beast, isn't it? So look, that's really all of the news. Let's talk about is a topic that's quite, we might disagree on this, right? And that is, this season to me has been fantastic, especially off the back of last one. Yeah, we can finish. I mean, look at the Wolves results tonight. We're almost nailed on for at least 7th or 8th, and at a stretch, if we have a great finish, we could finish 5th or 6th. Yeah. Right? It's a little competition of 4 teams: us, Spurs, Wolves, and Man United. A little mini league, right? The other ones below us have fallen away, so the lowest we can finish is 8th. Most likely 7th. We've got to the quarterfinal of the Europa League. We've got to the quarterfinal of the League Cup. We've got to the 5th round. Should have really got through to the quarterfinal of the FA Cup as well, but we didn't. To me, I would classify this season already as a huge success. What do you think, Dave?
Yeah, definitely. Off the back of last year and doing so well in Europe, I thought we would slip in the league and let things drop somewhere. The fact that we've been able to maintain top 6, at times top 4, for so long, I think it's incredible. We're such a thin squad. You know,
and not playing particularly well either, Dave, as well at times. You know,
no, but grinding results out, and the best teams do grind results out. They don't always win games with great performances. They win games by getting stuck in and, you know, taking the odd chance here and there. You look at the Liverpool game, we probably should be 2 points better off than where we are now, or a point better off. Leeds at home, where Bowen's had an opportunity to equalise in the game, drop points at home against Newcastle, and these are all games we could easily be 4th and comfortably be 4th this season. The fact that we could be in that position and it's still around, you know, 5th, 6th, quarterfinals of the Europa League, phenomenal season. Yeah. Phenomenal. Anyone who finds something negative about this season is a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
No.
In my opinion.
No, to me, if it finished now, it'd be a brilliant season. How about you, Grant?
Yeah, you know what? My pre-season prediction was probably 12th. I thought if we did really well, we'd get 10th. If we struggled, 16th could be on the cards, because I just thought we didn't have the squad for the Sunday, Thursday football. So the fact that, we're in the quarterfinals now, We're still fighting. We're still, pushing for a Europa League spot. It's just been absolutely unbelievable. It's probably, arguably, it's, in fact, it's not even arguably. This is a better season than last season. Last season we didn't have the Europa League to focus on. So no, I think unbelievable. Yeah.
Our players are having to deal with our negative, toxic fans as well, aren't they?
Yeah, very much so. Very much
so.
Which
We were told by the experts like Ian the Moose Abrahams.
He's a tosser.
That when the fans are back in the ground, it will all change and we'll revert to type.
Yeah. And it's funny the way these two Bob journalists can just throw around bullshit like that, and there's never any comeback. Yep. It's just it's consigned to the newspaper pile of history. There should be some recalls for comments like that. I've seen that mentioned on Twitter a couple of times today. What a load of old shit. Yeah. When you look at so many atmospheres we've seen this season, and that one last night. When we are when something good is happening on the pitch, we support that team, and that is helpful. That is not, there is no. They were kind of saying that all the games played under lockdown was an advantage, having no fans there.
Yeah,
mad, absolutely mad. So before I come to you, Nick, because you're the only one that's going to pour cold water on this. 1 minute.
not now. I'm not. Now I'm not.
Yeah. So they can keep slagging off Zuma, but he's played brilliantly since. Yeah, I totally agree. Fine at the most. Another payday. Right, okay. Let's go down here. Nigel says they should give Chelsea to the pitch owners group to run the club. I don't know what David's saying, and that's not true too. Probably something I said, but hey. Human rights out the back door. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cubs owner has bought them. Oh, right. So that is that. Really? Right, so that's that is Donald Trump's mate who's bought them. So that was always going to happen. So they're going to. Well, look, I think personally, with an American owner, what that means is it's going to be fast tracked to the European Super League again, because, as we all know, American owners they love a closed shop. They want a guaranteed gravy train. They don't want any danger of not qualifying for something and it impacting their revenues. They also want to grow their revenues, exponentially year on year on year on year. And there's nothing wrong with that if you run the business, right? That's fine. But they will not settle for a business that just has the same revenue or slightly increased revenue every year. They'll always look for the next gravy train to latch onto. So I think that is a sign. You've now got American owners at Liverpool and Man United, and they were the two that instigated that European Super League, right? Now you've got an American owner at Chelsea, because apparently Abramovich was reluctant to go along with that, and so was the Man City owners.
Yeah.
Right. So
on that, let's be clear. The Man City owners and Abramovich didn't need it financially like the others did. And I think they just took a more casual approach to it, read the room, and they waited to see what the others that were desperate for it have it. So,
no, totally agree. So Paul Riley says, considering signing nobody, the season has been amazing. Yeah. Absolutely it has. Who'd have thought that August's major final will be repeated in Seville in May, the Betway Cup and the Europa League? Yeah, good point. We could do the double over them. What position would you prioritise to target in the summer? Well, I think we're all going to say striker, right?
Yeah. We need a lot of players in the summer.
Michael Zuma can't get prosecuted twice. He's been prosecuted in a Thai country. France can't do anything there. I don't know. Okay. I don't know what that is.
If he holds property, he owns property in France, though, and I think under French law he can still be prosecuted for it because their law, the way they look at the way that you own animals, and the theory that if those cats must have been back in France with them at that property, therefore it is a weird one. If the French chose to prosecute him, they could.
I'm sure they're not going to.
I don't.
He's basically a French national team, doesn't he? So why would they do that?
He just dropped him, didn't he?
Yeah, but he'll be back in there.
Glenn says it's a massive season to still be in with a shout of top 4. Fantastic season from Mike D. I'm still waiting to wake up from this dream. That's how I felt last night, honestly. That was surreal last night. I hope Villa beat the Cheats tomorrow.
Yeah.
Nice to see so many positive fans for once. Yeah, it does make a change, doesn't it? Anybody got spare tickets for Leon? Not yet. Moose used last night to justify the move. Oh, fucking hell. So you see what I mean? These journalists, they can just say whatever they like, when they like, and nobody remembers what they said before. It just comes out. That guy just winds me up.
He's full of shit, that bloke. I can't stand him.
Listen. What's his radio station called?
He's on TalkSport, isn't he?
TalkSport. What we do?
Yeah.
Talking about him.
Yeah.
It's just the hookers, don't they? Every time. It's just a bunch of you know.
He's a supposed West Ham fan, though, isn't he?
I know.
Even what's this? Hold on.
West Ham voice, Stelios EasyJet. We're waiting for you on the late show.
This one here. Even DJ Russie B said it would change when the fans came back in. What, Glenn? What do you mean change for the worst?
Yeah,
for the better?
It means, yeah.
That's an interesting observation from DJ Russie B. Yeah, if that's what Glenn means. Cubs owner is a fan, right? Okay, fair enough. Okay, American owns going to change into Chelsea Blue Sox. I'd love him if he'd done something like that.
If they changed their names, I'd love that. That'd be funny, wouldn't it?
I'll tell you what, right? The guy's got to have. He might be a supporter, but he's got to have more money in the sense because that's cost Abramovich $1.5 billion already. That's money he's never going to see, right?
Yeah, no.
So it's a hobby, and it's a very expensive hobby. I don't see he can make them any better than they have been in Abramovich's reign. They're not going to win more, are they?
No.
Anyway, this is not a Chelsea show. We're going to go back to, is this season a success already? Grant says yes. I said yes. Dave says yes. Nick, what do you say?
Now it is. If it was all pivoting on us qualifying for this game, because like I say, the season, although because of what happened in January, because of where we were and how amazing we were in the first part of that season, the fact we didn't invest, and the fact that we've struggled for form since then, if we'd have lost against Villa and then lost against Sevilla, if this last few weeks had have gone differently, then it would have been a fucking disaster, in my opinion, because we had so many opportunities. But that hasn't happened. And even if we were to get knocked out in the next round, which I don't want to happen, what's happened is it's given the second half of this season some meaning now. It really has. The fact that we've got something else to look forward to, and our form is picking up. It seems like we're coming through that kind of bad because we weren't playing good football, was we? We weren't playing well for a while. We were still grinding out results. So no, it hasn't definitively now. Regardless of what happens from this point, it has been a fantastic season. We've recovered the situation, is what I think. We've recovered it well.
So there we go. Record this. Nick has said, Nick has confirmed this has already been a fantastic season, and he loves Thomas Souček. He loves it.
Now it has. At the moment, I love Thomas Souček, yes. Yeah.
Right. So that's... So I think now, Nick, you're going to take us on to the Dirty Tottenham preview.
Yeah, I didn't even bother fucking researching who they've played, who's fit. I don't care. Honestly, I honestly couldn't care less. I haven't even looked into it. But we're playing Tottenham. We're playing Tottenham on Sunday. Me and Gary are going. So is Dave. Are you going, Grant?
No, I wish.
No, yeah, we're so it's a later kickoff, isn't it? 4:30.
4:30,
yeah.
4:30 kickoff. So we're going to go and beat Spurs on Sunday with a fatigued team. Probably takes a little while to get started, for our boys to get motivated. Yeah, and I don't know. I know. What have their results been like? They're up and down, Spurs, aren't they?
Win-loss,
I've not been following them.
Yeah, they're
on a win-loss run, aren't they? So
and they've won the last game, haven't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Touch.
They're due a loss.
See, they're due a loss. So yeah, for me, look, logic dictates, because they are still a dangerous team. They are still. They've got some bloody good players. We should be fatigued. We should be after the last few games that we've had. But I thought we was going to be fatigued against Sevilla at home. I did. I thought we was going to struggle, and we didn't. We played 120 minutes, and some of those players looked like they could just carry on running. Didn't you think? It didn't. Whether that's just adrenaline they're running on, I don't know. But for me, against Spurs at the weekend, I don't know. I do care about it. I really do, because I don't want to finish below them in the table. But how good would it be in this scenario? Could this happen? Could Spurs finish 6th or 4th, and us winning the Europa League? If we finish outside the top 6, could that fuck them for a European place? Could that happen? Is that possible?
I don't know what happens.
Can that happen? That'd be magical, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be good?
Someone in the chat, or Dave or Grant, does someone know the answer to that? If we won the Europa League and got a Champions League
perfect scenario, that would be the perfect scenario.
Team miss out.
No, I think all 5 would go in, and then don't you lose your conference place or something like that? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but look, whatever happens, I think Tottenham are a basket case anyway. I think that we will get more points in them in the last remaining 10 games. I really do. I think I think yes they will win games. They will, and they'll win games well, because But yeah, I don't rate them. I think they're a basket case at the moment. I think we've got more than enough. I think if we beat them, their season's dead. Do you know that?
Yeah, I totally agree.
Their season is dead.
They will be absolutely demoralised if we turn them over in their own backyard. And we're going into this game with no pressure on us at all, right? It's amazing. This is the best possible way that we could go into a Tottenham away game.
Yeah, no, I know. But yeah, I do think that, and I think it was. I think Estelle was laughing now, because I think he mentioned that the other day, and I laughed at him. But when you think about it, yeah, they've had by their standards, well, not by their standards, but by their fans' standards, because they've got very high standards, haven't they? Tottenham fans, because they think they should be winning the league.
Yeah,
they've had a disastrous season. Yeah. And they're a typical example, of everything that we're not. We're loving what's happening at the moment. If we'd have been in that competition that they was in, that Europa Conference League, we'd have been the same in that competition.
Yeah.
We'd have been supporting our team in that, but no, it weren't good enough for them. It weren't good enough for Tottenham. Twats.
They sneer, don't they? They sneer, and they and like I was saying to you earlier, they've got the lovely shiny new stadium. It's very pretty. It's very aesthetically pleasing and stuff like that. But my God, any day, give me the ex-Olympic Stadium crammed to the rafters with rowdy West Ham supporters any day of the week. Right?
Yeah, that's it.
Right, I've got the answers, chaps.
Go on, Grant.
If we win, when we win Europa League, 5 Premier League teams will go into the Champions League. The only way it changes is if one of the it's going to be so. Say we win the Europa
League. I can't ever work it out.
If we win the Europa League and say Chelsea win the Champions League but finish 5th, then only the top 3 in the Premier League qualify. It's a maximum of 5 every time, basically.
Right.
So you just can't have 6. So that's the only way it changes.
Okay. Oh, that's a shame.
That is a shame. Because that would have been amazing, wouldn't it? And the last game of the season. That would have been brilliant. But yeah, no. For me, like I say, we're not going to go into too much detail. We're going to try and keep it quite rapid tonight. So, what do you think? I'm not even going to do a lineup selector. So, what are you thinking in terms of lineup? Do you think we're going to line up in a similar way? Do you think there'll be many changes?
I think it'll be the same team, apart from if there are any people. I think Moyes mentioned that a couple of players were limping. I don't know who he was talking about, but after playing 120 minutes, they were probably cramped up and everything, weren't they? Yeah. So I wonder who that is. I wouldn't be surprised if a couple of players got rested, but this is the last club game for a while, isn't it? So I would expect a full strength team.
Exactly. Why not? Just and if we do pick up any niggles, we've got a couple of weeks to recover, haven't we? So why not go for it? yeah, he's got to go for that same team. Look, this is gonna. I'm saying I don't care. You know what I'm like against Spurs, especially when I'm in that fucking stadium surrounded by them. That is gonna be everything to me on that moment. So, and then look, listen, someone's already said it in the chat. Antonio loves scoring against Spurs as well. So,
he does. And look, who don't want to beat Spurs? And I'll have the same thing, right? I'm saying I'm giving it all Billy Big Box at the moment, saying, "Oh, it don't matter" and stuff like that. Of course, it fucking matters. Of course, it matters.
It does matter.
And there's nothing. And I'll tell you, when we beat them, I was at that game when we beat them at White Hart Lane, and what a great day that was! What a great day that was!
It is the lasagna Spurs Cup final, though, isn't it? It really is.
Yeah.
No, always will.
There was nothing more inevitable than we were going to be the first team to beat them at that ground.
Yeah. No, I know. I think we're going to do them. That they do fancy their chances because they're off the back of a win. I know that. I spoke to a Spurs fan earlier on, and he said, you just played 120 minutes of football. Sevilla was crap. That was kind of the rhetoric I got. You're going to be all fatigued. You couldn't even wrap it up in 90 minutes against an underpass Sevilla team. I just thought, mate, you're going to get pumped on Sunday. You're going to get pumped on Sunday. You are.
They just never learn. They're setting themselves up for an even bigger embarrassment, aren't they?
I know.
What do you think they'd learn? Poor Spurs.
But yeah, they're going to get pumped on Sunday. So for me, go on. Let's just give our predictions. What are you saying, Gary?
Me, I'm going to go 1-0 West Ham.
1-0 West Ham. I'll tell you what we will do. We'll do the Premier League predictor. Dave's struggling with his internet. That's why he keeps dropping off. Grant, what are you going for?
2-1 West Ham.
Yes, Grant. And if Grant says that, it's definitely going to happen. Craig Revel Hallwood. I do like that.
It's going to stick, Grant.
Yeah. I'm going to go 2-0 West Ham.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go I don't think we'll concede.
Spurs struggle against teams. They like to be. They like to play on the counter.
We're just going to sit back and say,
come on, then. See what you're going to do. Yeah.
I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to literally have about 5% possession and score 2 goals. So that's what I think is going to happen. Right. So we've got. So Chelsea beat Norwich. That's unbelievable. So Wolves were 2-0 up, were they? And Leeds came back 3-2. Jesus Christ.
It's amazing.
I know. We'll go Gary first. Go on, Man City versus Brighton.
4-0.
Okay. And then we go to Grant. Burnley versus Southampton.
0-0. It'd be dour.
Right, Villa versus Arsenal. It's got to be an Arsenal win, that, isn't it? Well, I don't know, actually. Gary, go on, I'll let you have that.
I'll go for a 1-1 draw on that one.
1-1.
Yeah.
Getting on the fence.
Yeah.
Right, Grant, Newcastle Palace. That's not an easy one to predict.
1-0 Newcastle.
Watford, Everton. I'm going to say Everton are going to get off the mark because if Watford beat them, they are truly fucked, aren't they?
They got off the mark last night, didn't they?
Did they win last night?
Beat Newcastle.
Right, okay. Yeah, they're definitely going to win then.
Did you not see it? You not see Mate Boy?
Mate, no. I didn't see any. I didn't see any of that. I was just concentrating on our game.
Bloke tied himself to the post.
Tied himself to the post, protesting against oil, didn't he?
Really?
Protesting against the Saudis. Yeah.
I didn't look at any Premier League football last night. No.
I'll tell you what, though. So that was against the Saudis, was it? That's what I assumed it was at the time. But nobody on the news said what he was protesting over.
His T-shirt said "No to oil."
Oh, bloody hell! Oh, there you go.
Right, Gary. Liverpool versus Man U.
3-0.
3-0. Yeah, I hope so. Because Man United are the ones. I think we are definitely going to finish above Man United. I do. I think they are properly shit. I do believe that.
Yeah.
Right, I'll go Leicester Brentford. Yeah, I'll go 2-0 Leicester on that one. Right, and finally we go to the guest. We go to Grant.
Yeah, we'll say 2-1 West Ham.
2-1 West Ham. Okay. See
or
what
the other way round.
Shits. What have I done?
What have you done?
You've
Hang
put
on.
Tottenham 2-1.
Oh.
Right, okay. That's close. Right.
That's better. Look, 5th. Back up to 5th. Bosh.
Back up to 5th. There you go. Bosh.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Be happy with that, wouldn't we?
Yeah,
That's
we would
fine.
be.
Look, and look,
So-
we're still in touching distance of. I know they've got 2 games in hand, but we're still in touching distance of Arsenal. And we're going to be all right. We're going to do. I think we'll finish, like you said, worst way it'll be 7th this year. Worst way, and that ain't the end of the world, is it?
Not at all. Not at all. I thought we would finish. I predicted 8th at the beginning of the season. So let's go for a few comments. So Nigel said, "Who enjoyed a proper DJ set last night?"
I bet Nigel
Because it's just noise to me.
Oh. Nigel enjoyed the light show, though, I'm sure.
I'm sure he loved it.
Pyrotechnics was right up his street.
I'll tell you what, Grant, I love that light show. I really like it.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for all that American crap.
Why not? I think all of it helps the atmosphere, doesn't it?
I did sneer it. The first time I saw it, I sneered at it. I thought, oh, this is a bit poncy. But then I've been sucked in now. I've been sucked into it. I quite enjoy it.
Yeah, I don't mind that little bit of tacky glamour stuff. I don't mind it at all. Consistency for West Ham. Kieran says, is success. It's been a long time since successive good season. Yes, it has. Glenn says, last month the team performances have improved each game. Yes, they have. We have slowly got better, haven't we?
Yeah.
Certainly have. Right, so let's have a look. Keep Son and Kane quiet, Mike D says, and we win. Jones says, Leeds did us a favour tonight. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Keep them down there. And Mike says, and Portsmouth will light up blue or pink as Grandad Brennan finds out the sex of his grandchild.
Of course.
Oh. Congratulations, Mike.
Congratulations, Mr. Brennan. Huge step forward. Agreed, said James. Okay. Excuse me. Still says we're going to smash the Spuds, as the old ad used to sing, for mash, get smash. And that's what happens to the Spuds at the weekend. The only negative about this season is the Dildo Brothers' lack of what?
You got to finish that sentence, David.
Yeah. Stell's new channel, Trigger TV. All right, Dave. Last game, Spurs rested their entire team in Europe and we still beat them. We're on a massive high after Thursday night. I mean, look, all the signs say it's a West Ham win.
I think so.
I'm starting to expect it, I'm starting to expect it. They've only got 2 good players in Kane and Son. Yes, they have. And Johnson will keep Son quiet. Antonio was born to score against the Spuds. Yes, he was.
He was indeed, Joan.
We are now Spurs' cup final.
Yes, we are. We genuinely are. That's the thing.
Yeah.
We act with that. They fucking hate us. They do that. This is everything to them. This is massive for them. You got to feel for them.
Nick's so positive. Nigel says, "Yeah, I know. It's amazing the way this season has converted."
I'm positive when things are positive.
Positive mental attitude. Dejan Kulusevski is decent. Yes, he is. He is. Maybe Yarmo will get the winner. 3 games running. What do you reckon?
It's going to be Antonio.
Can you imagine?
It's going to be Antonio.
Probably not Mike. Okay. I'd love to play 4-4-2 against the Spuds. No, I'd like to leave it as it is. I said it's not true that Zuma can't play in France. Ah, right. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Right. Very appropriate. Sorry, David. I'll just get lost in these comments. I assume
you're rubbish at this, Gary.
I am. We need John to do this stuff.
I know.
He's so organised. He's so organised.
I know.
Right, Fab will start. Obviously, yeah, that'll be a difference. Gary, what rating did Nick give Souček? 10. Still
7.
10.
Gave him a 7.
Right. Okay. Getting down to the bottom now. Stell on Sunday, except when he can't do Mondays. He does it on Tuesday. Fab will start. Deck was limping after the game. Could have been cramp. Could have been cramp.
Because he had Noble on his back. He had to carry him around.
Yeah, that's right. Starts prompt at 9, except every week he's late.
I know. I think they're just having a conversation, Gail. Jump down to this one. Look.
No. I think it's quite a good conversation because it's about Stel show. I think we can, in summary, he does it on one day of the week. We don't know which day, and it starts at 9 or somewhere near 9.
Yeah, no, it's never 9. If he says 9, just jump on at 10.
Go on, Nick.
Right, Nigel. Environmental demonstration. This was due to what you was talking about. The guy that was tied himself to the post.
Yeah. Using plastic ties.
Yeah, bloody hell! Can someone please return the real Nick? I can't handle this positive imposter. Look, when things are good, I'm happy. When things are bad, I'm not happy. You could call me fickle. Well, I am fickle. What's this? What's fakery bollocks?
The fireworks and the lights.
He don't like all that.
Nigel's not in for all that cheap glamour stuff. Yeah.
Are they really? Look, Man City have got lasers. Why haven't we got lasers?
We're getting lasers.
We need lasers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll give us those pens. I'll leave them on our seats.
Yeah, Dave's trying to get back on, but his internet's playing up. Yeah, we know, mate. He did message me. I saw his message. That's fine. We're at the end of the show now anyway. If we beat Spuds tomorrow, we'll be back in the running for the top 4. David Shell. Ashley, the Cheats will not finish 4th. David, Arsenal have some hard games.
Yeah, they got Chelsea and United, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. Paul Evans, bound to happen. Come on, Yarmo. So you think it's going to be Yarmo? Paul, he asks me this every week. Nick, when's the quiz? Next week. You have to wait till Nigel's on. David, hopefully we'll lose them all. Right, that's it. That's all the comments.
We're all done.
We're all done.
All right. So we've got nothing else to do then, have we? We've finished lovely and early this week. Only 2 hours.
It was a Claret and Booze light. I'm knackered.
Yeah, 2 hours and 13 minutes in. Thanks, Grant. Thanks to for all of you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks for all your comments. Loads of comments in the chat. I had real difficulty navigating my way through them. Come back, John, for Christ's sake, because he can multitask. I can't. If you haven't done so already, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification icon. Thank you to Grant for joining us again.
Thank you for having me back, guys. Really appreciate it.
Cheers, Grant.
Our pleasure. And thank you to Mr. Hirst, Dave Hirst, whose broadband has let him down in the final seconds, in the closing stages. Thanks, Dave. You were great. We will be back on what are we going to do Sunday? We're going to the game, which is 4:30. Are we going to do like a late hangover after the game?
If we win, yeah. Oh, yeah, we will. Yeah.
If we win, yeah, because you're inviting Sean the Spud on that, aren't you?
Sean the Spud. He said he's going to come on, win, lose, or draw. So he'll only be coming on if they lose.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So I won't let him on otherwise.
Yeah. So there you go. We will see you again on Sunday and the Booze Up next Friday. So look, until then, thank you for watching. See you soon and come on, you irons.
Go on, you irons.
Cheers, Grant. Cheers, Dave. Cheers, everyone. See you later.